ALR Season 2, round 21 of what has been an incredible world tour, hasn't it? Started off in Australia and now we're finishing off in Abu Dhabi. An incredible 20 odd races we've had so far. Just taking a look at the location. We're here in Yas Island, 21 turns around here, 5.5 kilometers. And it is going to be very tense. I gotta say, I think I'm more nervous than the guys that are battling for the title themselves. We'll talk about all that action in just a few moments. As I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be fantastic, isn't it? And of course, remember, later tonight there will be a special presentation as the awards and also the driver draw will be happening at 9 o'clock tonight, so that is half an hour after we're scheduled to go off air here. So keep an eye on your YouTube notifications. It is gonna be brilliant stuff. Of course, I'd say that's one of the most exciting parts of the season, to find out what car you're driving, isn't it? So and it is the draws for both gold and silver. Yeah, we've had a I gotta say, the admins have had a very busy time over the past couple of days. As I'm just quickly getting up the stream. We've got 4 comments already. My goodness me, you guys are eager tonight, which is good, really, because I've got to say, Sundays usually more, well, it used to be a chill out day for me, but it really isn't anymore. Let's just have a quick look at Laggy saying championship decider, and hello as well. Jonathan Cox saying good evening, Sean. 2 battles tonight, Grant and Emerson, me and Dan Murphy, and Nigel, good kick tonight. I think he means good luck. We got Lights making his debut tonight. So Light's making his debut as well on the final showdown now, so let's see what he can do. And also Fire Shot Ryan Meeker, yeah, of course I was a part of the Peru team for the World Cup, so me and Fire Shot were on the same team, which I gotta say was an interesting experience of Silent and Fire Shot. I gotta say, good laughs they are. And of course the team captain Nausea as well, who's done a very good job of keeping us on the straight and narrow. Anyway, we've got 19 drivers here tonight in Abu Dhabi then for the final showdown, and all that anyone needs to be concerned about tonight, well, I wouldn't say all that anyone needs to be concerned about tonight, because there's a lot going on, but of course we're going to be keeping our attentions between the guys, the one man in gold, the other man in yellow, Emerson and Granty, fighting for the championship. 3 points separates them. And as I said at the beginning of the show, God, I think I'm more nervous than both those guys. It's incredible this is going to be. Looking forward to this as well. And I got to say, I think I might have a Murray Walkerism body on this. I think I'm going to lose my voice, especially if it's an epic one. Abu Dhabi doesn't really produce many epic races, I got to say. But in league racing, it is a track that is designed perfectly, isn't it, to have an epic battle, and that's exactly what we're going to be. Lights is coming out onto the track now, making his debut, replacing Farf, the man who was in the championship battle right up until last 2 races. I think he unfortunately bowed out of it officially in the USA Grand Prix, which is such a shame there for Farf. Of course, he won this race last season, didn't he? That was his first win of 3, and within a space of, I think it was in the space of, 4 races? He won 3 out of 4 races. Farf was on incredible form, wasn't he, back then? It's gone slightly awry now, but I hope he's enjoyed himself in his winter wonderland. Anyway, so Lights is replacing. This is Farf's first race he's missed all season, which means we got to give a good shout out then to one of the men who was racing the Pink Panthers, and that's Jonathan Cox. 21 races he's been ever present in this championship, hasn't he, Jonathan? I don't think he's missed a single ALR race since he signed up. So Jonathan there, 21 out of 21. Fantastic to see him in all races this season. Brilliantly good commitment now, and that's what I love to see. Yeah, that's what I love to see. So well done to Jonathan there. I do love a good stat as well, so really impressive. And anyway, as we're just taking a look at Lights at car 12 in the Red Bull, then it's unusual to see not to see Far from the Red Bull. It doesn't feel it feels a bit doesn't feel right, does it, really? But there we go. As we're on board with Lights as he's coming through under the hotel right now. So the championship decided, then what is being decided tonight? Well, the Constructors Championship has already been decided, and Renault have had an incredible season, haven't they? Well, I would say an incredible season, but it's an incredible final couple of races, final second half of the season, hasn't it? New F1 and Granty have been incredible stuff. I remember Wishbone as well, who drove for the Renault, also catapulted them right up in the atmosphere in terms of the highest championship position in the constructors. It was incredible stuff, wasn't it? On board with Light says he's just flicking it through turn 3 now, and I got to say, This track is probably not the most exciting track in the world, is it? I think the Sector 1 is probably the best track, best section, but the rest of it, well, it's a bit, yeah, it's not the best, is it? But that doesn't matter tonight, does it? Because I think no one's going to be, it's going to be intense, it's going to be exciting. And I can't say that the qualifying session is going to be immense as well, isn't it? Of course, grid position and may not be king around here, but it certainly helps, especially if you want to have a clean race. As the lights just come through sector 2 now. So in the championship, 3 points separates the Granty and Emerson, the two men who is going to battle out to be, they will be the first ever, the second ever ALR champion. So Nigel, of course, won it last season at this very track as well, didn't he? As he beat Hunter in the end to the title with just 1 round to go. It was a very tense affair as well, wasn't it? Because we had single shot qualifying this race last season, which probably wasn't the most wasn't the best idea in the world, was it? But I gotta say, it did throw the grid up nicely. I mean, it was a pretty epic battle. I enjoyed it. I don't think any of the drivers enjoyed it. Light Search is coming through turn 19 now. Then turn 19 can be very difficult at times. Kind of the car just likes to understeer into it. Twang has gone fastest on a 38.2 at the moment in the Racing Point car 24, and of course Twang made his return back in Mexico, and I think since then he's done a good job for the Racing Point and really helped them propel up in the constructors as well. I haven't even gone. I gotta say, I'm having a bit of a merit round. You may recognise this man. This is Storm 72. He made a race. Well, he made his debut back in Austria, season 1, and a race for. I think he had 5 races last season. His Laggy has gone off there, but he's fast at the moment. Brandon's gone faster still. He is on a 35.5 there for the Renault team. Of course, Renault now reigning constructors champions. So good stuff indeed. Just taking a look around here. It's Jonathan there, who unfortunately bowed out of the championship battle, along with Dan Murphy in Brazil. But Dan really didn't make it past turn 3, did he really? As he got punted off the track 3 times. But it was put down to a dodgy connection there from Dan, which is unfortunate really, but because he had a strong qualifying, didn't he, as well? Back to this man Storm then. Yes, he has had 5 appearances for ALR, and he'll be back full time next season, and he will be in the draw for gold coming up later on tonight at 9 PM. As there's going to be a lot of plugs about that tonight. Yeah, keep an eye on that on the channel. It's good stuff. It really is. Storm then, what's he going to do? He's coming into turn 21 now. There you can see he had a bit of a wobble on there, didn't he, in the Red Bull, and he comes across the line, and he is on the hard tire as well. So he goes full fastest, decent time there for Storm. We got Mr. Elite there, who is just spinning back around. Of course, he may return after a couple of weeks absent, didn't he, in Brazil? But unfortunately, he was out fairly early on as well. It was a bit of a messy start to the Brazilian Grand Prix, wasn't it? So hopefully it'll be a bit more neat and tidy this time around. And where was I anyway? Back to what I was talking about. Yeah, so Granty there has got a 3-point advantage over Emerson at the moment. So that makes the maths very simple, which is good for me, because I got to say my maths is not exactly the my strong point. This man who's a very strong driver comes across the final corner now, and he goes so fast as Jonathan does on a 35.2. Good time from the British-Italian driver. Mr. Elite then, who's just recovering. Here's Echo, who was on pole position, wasn't he, last week? An incredible, he judged the track conditions absolutely impeccably, didn't he? It was a Hulkenberg-esque lap there from Echo, if anyone remembers Hulkenberg's pole position back in Brazil 2010. My goodness me, that was a long time ago. And it was just, I got to say, that was just good, or perhaps even better, actually. Granty, one of the men who is fighting for the championship, is the first man out of the championship runners out to have a go at the Abu Dhabi circuit. 3 points separates them. So Emerson has to basically score some points then, but he has to at least, I think he has to at least score an 8th position or a 9th with fastest lap. And Emerson does have, Emerson's fastest lap record is not as good as Granty's. He's only had 2 fastest laps, I think Emerson has this season. So I think that he has to have at least 8th position, and that's without Granty scoring as well. And Granty, even when he has a difficult opening couple of laps, he seems to always get some decent points. So I don't think that's something Emerson could really rely on, can he? So yeah, that is it in a nutshell, really. Of course, if Granty wins his champion, if Emerson wins his champion as well, that is how close the title is. So. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible stuff, isn't it? We'll keep an eye on the championship throughout the program, throughout the show, because of course it won't be decided in qualifying. It will be decided in the race. Whatever happens, we've got yellow flags floating around at the moment. So in the drivers' championship, then we've talked about the top 2 for extended period of time already. What about third and fourth? Well, Jonathan at the moment is currently third in the championship with Dan in fourth. Dan has to win basically. Dan has to win basically to overtake. Well, to even have an inkling of a chance to overtake Jonathan for third in the championship. But that's even without Jonathan cannot score 4 points. That's without Jonathan not getting 8 for higher as well. So I think that well, anything can happen though. And Murphy, I must say, has been an incredible driver in the second half of the season. So anything can happen. Farf is in 5th position, and I think he's kind of a lone ranger there in 5th position. There's no one really near him. Nigel in 6th position, then Fisher in 7th. Fisher's had an incredible last couple of races, hasn't he? My goodness me, he could potentially overtake. Farf for Nigel for 6th position now. Remember, he's only had like 10 races under his belt, so he's incredible, isn't he? This man is. 8th position is Brandon. He has moved up 1 position. Silent has dropped down to 9th. Unfortunately, Silent cannot be with us here tonight. But I think overall Silent, of course, had a win in China, and I'm wondering how he's in the draw as well for gold coming up later on, and it'd be great, interesting to see what car he's going to be driving in. We got Twang moving up to 10th as well then, and that just shows how strong Twang's opening season's been. Of course, remember the first 5 races, it was incredible. Fisher's gone full fast at the moment in the Mercedes. As we just watched, I think that was Mr. Elite just recovered. And here's Forza Ferrari, also making his debut tonight. My goodness me, and that was a bit rude of me. I introduced Lights, but I didn't introduce Forza. Here is Forza Ferrari then in the Williams end, so making his debut tonight, and he has put a 37.2 on the board already then. So good stuff from Forza. Here comes Stringy coming through the final turn now, and let's see what Stringy can do at the moment. Well, I think he's gone a wandering somewhere, so he's gonna have to go again. So Nigel now then is on a here is the man who was the champion, but unfortunately he will not be the defending champion next year. It will be either Emerson or it will be Granty. Granty hasn't set a representative time yet, whilst Emerson has thrown himself into 2nd position already. My goodness me, this is going to be tense, isn't it? I'm loving it. Fireshot has dropped down to 11th position, so he's outside the top 10 now. Only one of the big movers there in the championship was Echo. He's moved up to 6th position. That incredible drive in Brazil was immaculate, wasn't it? He got driver of the day and well deserved as well for Echo. Brilliant stuff. And Gamer moving up 3 positions as well. He's moved up to 21st position and 7th position. In the Constructors then, of course, Renault are now unable to be catched, so they are the Constructors Championship, but it is all to play for from 2nd downwards. Racing Point, Toro Rosso and Haas are separated by the minute of margins, and as well, Racing Point does have the advantage. Of course, they moved up to 2nd, and of course Twang and Jonathan Cox is a very good combination as well. Toro Rosso do have Echo, who has been incredible, hasn't he? And they've also got William as well this session. So of course Roscoe unfortunately unable to make it here tonight. So William has stepped in his place then. So you're just watching Nodes there coming through turn 19. There's a car in front of him there. Haas has dropped out of 4th position after a pretty miserable Brazilian Grand Prix. I don't think they had well, they did have drivers, but I don't think it's their official drivers. Nigel goes 4th fastest then in the Alfa Romeo. And just coming out on track at the moment, we got Sam who's just tackling the technical section now. So is Stringy, and so is Murphy as well. So we're keeping on Stringy. Ferrari at the moment floating around in 5th position in the constructors. So I think that they'll probably be 5th, and they finished last season. So I think that's a much better constructors season this season with Murphy and Laggy. Have been very good pairing, haven't they? Stringy coming across the line now. Mercedes is in 6th position. They've just displaced Alfa Romeo. There's a point separating Mercedes and Alfa Romeo. That is going to be incredible. So we're keeping an eye on all this. Red Bull, of course, the constructors champions from last season. They are not going to be champions this season. And I think that let's have an incredible result here tonight as Murphy goes third fastest. If they have an incredible result here tonight, then I don't think that they're going to move out of 8th position. McLaren are in 9th position. They've just displaced Williams, and Williams are currently 10th, and 2 points separates the McLaren and the Williams team as well. And that is represented Stringy and Gunnar in the McLaren. In the Williams, we have Forza, and also I think that's the only Williams we've got Steve as well, who's got a qualifying ban for being a naughty boy. So Steve there is Steve and Forza will be flying the flag and hoping that Williams don't finish last in the constructors. Sam is going to 12th position. Good stuff from Sam. Stringy's on track at the moment, so is Granty. We're keeping an eye on Stringy first. This is his 3rd attempt now in the trying to get a qualifying lap in there. So yeah, Stringy there just having a bit of a difficult time at the moment, isn't he, in McLaren? So it's I must admit I have been ignoring the I've been ignoring the comments. Otherwise I've been trying to get myself sorted. It's great to have you all along here tonight. Fantastic stuff indeed. We got Grant saying hello, hello. We got Brandon, of course, Granty's teammate saying up the Renault. Come on, Granty. We have also got Grant also going up the Renault as well. Jonathan, me and Murphy balances third position in the championship as well. I think that's Bowden saying let's go Twang. Of course, Bowden, a former driver. Of course, he was a Mercedes driver at the beginning. Of course, they were Team Norway, weren't they? And they was a good combination as well. And who can remember that incredible Australian? Who can forget? Sorry, that incredible Australian Grand Prix. That was a good battle, wasn't it? Between it was between Knowles and the two Mercedes. Great teamwork, and it really was. Grant's there is just getting himself warmed up, I think, and have another go. He's only got 3.5 minutes, so pressure's starting to mount on Granty. We're keeping on Granty, but let's have a look at Gunnar, the Irishman, in his green and white helmet then, and going over the curbs then. Gunnar is, of course, the ever-popular Irishman, and I got to say, he's always a man that likes to start a discussion or two, doesn't he? And he's in the McLaren, and of course, he'll be in the forefront of the attention tonight, along with his teammate Stringy, in the battle for who's going to be getting the wooden spoon in the constructors. It's between McLaren and Williams then, and that's incredible, isn't it? Two of the most successful British teams in Formula 1 history. Wow, in ALR, and it's not gone too well, has it? This season for you constructors. I think McLaren finished third in the constructors last season. Williams finished 9th. So yeah, 2 seasons with the ALR team. 2 seasons with ALR. Williams hasn't exactly shown gold, has it? So they were hoping to be some good driver draws later on. Of course, at 9 p.m. As you can see, I'm getting as much advertising in as possible, and we're just on board Gunnar now. I think that Jonathan Cox might need to close his ears. So I've just seen that Arsenal have lost 3-0, so that's not good, is it? As Gunnar then is coming into the technical section now. We got Claire saying that Team Emerson. We've also got Richard saying Emerson for the win. I'm loving this. Got Claire saying hashtag Team Emerson again. Lights saying I invalidated my lap there. So of course, but Lights has done. Well, as you know, I'm like way behind. But Lights has not invalidated that lap. He's up into 6th position. Good stuff there from the debutant. Brilliant. We're coming through the last corner. What about Gunnar? What does he flick? He flicks up into 15th position there. Lovely stuff. What about Granty? He comes across the line. He goes third fastest. Look at that. Wow. The championship contenders are 300ths of a second separates them. My goodness me, that's a whisker, isn't it? Oh, I mean, this is great stuff. If it finishes like that in the race later on, they will be joint on points. And how does that get decided? Well, it will go to Emerson, who would have 5 wins, to Granty's 3. That is how it will be decided, because it's going to be done on a count back of wins, I believe. Unless I'm very much mistaken, which I might be. William goes up to 12th position then at the moment. Remember, William in his debut stormed to pole position, but unfortunately since then it's been a bit of a difficult time in ALR for William, but a very talented driver. Talking of talent, here comes Twang, as he is the fan favourite, isn't he? Or well, he's certainly my favourite, I've got to say. Oh, should I be saying that? Probably not. Yeah, well, if anyone remembers our commentating duo back in Bahrain season 1, you can see why. it was a very good experience, wasn't it? Twang now is not going to be interested in that whatsoever. All he's going to be interested in now is trying to get himself out of the bottom 4 at the moment. Well, bottom 3, because of course Steve is out of qualifying. Twang goes up in the 4th fastest then. Wow, look at that. This is good, isn't it? I'm loving this. Gunnar is a couple of seconds down, and Gunnar is out of qualifying, unfortunately. So in the drop zone we have Forza, we have Gunnar, and we have Storm as well making his return. Storm is, so we've lost Steve and Gunnar already. It's between Forza and Storm to try and get themselves out of qualifying. Sam is looking perilous in 15th position now, and we've also got Echo there. Of course, last week's pole sitter is down in 14th. It's incredible how this can change, isn't it? Very tense stuff indeed. Forza's in the pits, and so Forza is also out of qualifying on his debut for the Williams team, and unfortunately he is not going to be able to get through to Q2 there. But Forza there is in 16th position then, and that is it then. So what about Storm? Can he storm into Q2 then? We're on board with him now then in the Renault, and all eyes are on him. He's 2/10 of a second up. Where's that going to put him? Currently, if we look at the end times, that would only put him, now still putting behind Gunnar at the moment now. So Storm then is, but it's not, the first sector is not really as important as the final 2 sectors. Jonathan's retired from the session, and he is top of the tree at the moment. Good stuff on board Storm as he goes down the back straight. Richard Stanley Bloom saying let's go Emerson, let's go. Jonathan, what's the points difference between me and Dan? I think it's 21 points. So yeah, I think Dan needs to win, and I think Jonathan, you just need to get 7 for higher or 8 for higher. No, 8 for higher, I think it is. because that will go and count back as well. Echo, good luck to everyone for the final race of the season. Of course, Echo is a very new to ALR, but my goodness me, he has settled in beautifully, hasn't he? He's a fantastic driver. Here's Storm then, of course, making his return tonight as well, so he's just come through the technical sector now. We have also got Twang saying a new one-off helmet may not work that well with pink. Of course, I think Twan was upset that I didn't see his helmet last week, so sorry about that, Twan. I'll keep an eye out this week. Also, we have got Echo saying, I have the Abu Dhabi helmet. We've also got Ayrton saying, let's go Emerson, the future champion. And John for going very depressing, lol. I think that's about Arsenal. And what does Storm do? Storm goes into 11th fastest then, and he is through and into Q2. Unfortunately, we have lost Sam, Forza, Gunnar and Steve have all been knocked out of Q1. 2 Williamses have been knocked out. That is not good for the constructors' point of view, is it? And Gunnar, one half of the McLaren, has also been knocked out as well. Sam also knocked out, unfortunately, in the Mercedes. So that is Q1 done and dusted. I got to say, it's very, very. You can cut the tension with a knife, can't you? It is absolutely. Oh my goodness me! I'm sweating in the commentary box and I haven't even started yet. Well, I might have to open a window, and that's something I never thought I'd be doing at this time of year. Echo coming around the final turn now, and I think he is just cruising there just to see what the grip is on those shiny new tyres. Then, so that is the end of qualifying. Then we have also got so John saying very depressing. Forza saying Forza here spun out on my fast lap there, so unfortunately for Forza, that's why it didn't go too well for Forza, unfortunately. Possibly didn't get the best out of his best out of the car, what he perhaps could have done then. So at the end of Q1 then, we have lost, as we go right down to the bottom, we have lost Steve, who of course there's been a qualifying ban. Gunnar out of qualifying, so it's Forza, as we heard, he had a problem on his fast lap, and Sam out of qualifying as well then. So as we go into Q2 then, qualifying 2, we are lining up 11th to 15th, so that is what the aim of Q2 is, but also the aim of Q2 is also to decide on what tyres the Q3 that the top 10 are going to run on. So it would be soft, medium or hard, and that's going to be interesting in itself, isn't it? Because I've got to say, strategy around here it's going to be pretty interesting, isn't it, to see what you go with. And there's probably a couple of strategies you can go. You can go with 1 stop or a 2 stop, which probably sounds obvious, isn't it? But of course, it's your way of running it, isn't it? Of how you would like to go medium, soft, soft, medium, medium. You might even like to go medium, hard tyre as well. It depends, doesn't it? Of course, it really does depend, though, doesn't it, on how you drive the car and whether the tyres will stand up to your driving style. We've also got Storm saying, I told you I lost my pace, nearly messed that up. But it doesn't matter, Storm, you're still through. As we're now in the Q2, and we're 20 seconds into Q2 as well. We've also got Echo, this isn't my best track, don't expect anything special from me. Well, I got to say, Echo, well, Trolls, we are expecting something special from you now, Echo, after that incredible qualifying performance in Brazil. That was immense. As we're just watching one of the Ferraris fly out the pits there, and you can see that the name boards are slightly askew there, because I thought that was Murphy. I thought that was Fisher in the Ferrari. That was a bit interesting. We're on board with Fisher now. Then I've got to say, he's not even. I don't think he doesn't care one iota about the championship tonight. But I'm sure that next season he definitely will be, and he's going to be in with a shout, isn't he? Murphy there coming out of the pits now. So Murphy then, I got to say, he's had a stellar year, hasn't he? If all the issues didn't happen in qualifying in the race of Brazil last week, then perhaps Murphy and Jonathan would be a bit more of a tense affair. But Murphy needs to win this race today. He's had 3 pole positions this season. Murphy is actually top of the pole position standings with 3 at the moment. The men on 2 is Fisher, so potentially you can get a third one today to be joined. Silence on 2 as well, but unfortunately Silence not here today. And Knowlesy is also on 2 as well. That just shows how spread out the qualifying performances have been this season. Oh, and Dan Lutzman is on 2 as well, but he had a brief spell, didn't he, in the middle part of the season. As Jonathan is not even doesn't like those bollards whatsoever at all. Jonathan it's a trademark decision for Jonathan to always come out as early as possible in qualifying, get his run going, so he doesn't have to even get involved in any of these shenanigans that might happen behind him then. So we're on board Jonathan now as he's about to start his lap, going into the hotel now. He's preparing the car, making sure the tires are in correct temperature, making sure the brakes are up to the optimal temperature, and you can see the car is starting to turn in there. There's a lot of understeer on Jonathan's car then. Comes through the final turn now. Let's go on board with him. We are on board with him now. And here we go then. Coming over the start grid hatchings now then, and flicking it into turn 1 then. It's not the most exciting turn 1 in the world, is it? And now they're coming up to turn 2 and 3. Now this is probably the best part of the track there, isn't it? The car gets floaty on the rear end then. You've got to make sure your rear end stays in line, and he's done that crackingly well as well. Now coming into the chicane then, Schumacher and Liuzzi had a big old smash here, didn't they? I think that looking back at that, you're kind of glad that the halo is on the cars now, isn't it? Because that was a frightening accident, wasn't it? And of course that transformed the race as well, didn't it? Because of course that also I don't think it did actually. I don't think it brought the safety car. The safety car came out for something else. Jonathan now coming down the back straight. Then you can see DRS. There's 2 DRS zones around Abu Dhabi, and you can see then there's the as this day is turning into night here. And I think that it's a beautiful setting to end this season, isn't it? Maybe not the best track as we mentioned before, but it's such a beautiful setting here, isn't it? DRS available again then for Jonathan. Then you can see there are 2 DRS detection zones, so there's not one detection zone like there is in Canada. There is 2. So there's also a detection zone just after the chicane there. Oh, Jonathan there might have messed up there. I'm wondering if he might have invalidated his time there. He had to correct the car, which did make a mess of that, which is not good there for Jonathan, unfortunately. So and he has messed up his lap, and but that is the advantage, isn't it, of going out early. So even if you do have a problem, you can still got time there. Emerson there just flashing through our screen then. Laggy coming down the back straight. Here comes William there. William there in the beautiful orange helmet, and as you can see he's on the medium compound tyre at the moment. As we said, the people that qualify in the top 10 must start on these exact tyres. These exact tyres, not the same compound. Well, it's the same compound, but also the exact tyres as well. So you don't want to lock up. You don't want to keep going round and round like I've done in the past, because you know, if I had a brain I'll be dangerous. New F1 there goes fast a moment with William second, 2 tenths of a second separates the 2 drivers there, and lovely done indeed there. Mr. Elite there is just coming up, and my goodness me, shaving turn 19 there. Oh blimey, he was almost a hairdresser there, Mr. Elite then. And now he's coming back in the pits, and as Fisher there goes up faster on the soft tyres on a 35.3. No playing for this man here. Can he equal and get joint top pole positions then this season? Of course he is on to 2 at the moment and could get 3. Emerson has only had 1 pole position, didn't he, back in Japan. Storm is on the hard tyres, and he's done for a 3.80 then. Storm has a very late call up, Storm, so he's had no time to practice. Here comes Laggy, and last time I seen Laggy drive around here, and on an absolutely outstanding race, didn't he? Laggy did. So can he throw that again? Well, he obviously doesn't like the Rolex out, does he? And he has just slowed it down a bit. Stringy has got on at 6 fastest. Of course, Stringy is representing the McLaren team today, and that is very important in the McLaren to not finish last, is it? Here comes Lights coming across the line, and he is 2nd fastest. My word, this man is quick, isn't he? No, here comes Twan then as he's coming down the back straight. Echo is also down the back straight as well. Let's keep it on Twang then, shall we? And let's have a look at that helmet then. Oh, lovely for Twang there. Yeah, he's right though. It doesn't go well with the pink though, does it? And now he's coming down the second of the 2 back straights. Twan does. Yeah, look at. Hopefully, Twang can have a full season next season. His first 2 seasons in ALR have been blighted by technical difficulties and things like that, hasn't it? So. And of course, I think this season in the Mercedes, he was incredible, wasn't he? His consistency was really paying off, and he will be right up there, I think, if fortunately real life does intervene, doesn't it? We're just Fisher's just in front of us, the man who's fastest on track at the moment. 9 minutes to go. Yeah, but I definitely think that Twan would definitely be in the picture, wouldn't he? He would definitely have been one of the title fighters. Perhaps might not have got it down to the wire like tonight, but he certainly would have been in the in the story, wouldn't he? Twan comes across the line, he goes 6 fast at the moment in the Racing Point. And remember, this next season, for season 3 of ALR, for the first time we'll be racing on the same game. Remember, between the first and second season, we had Formula 1 2018 to Formula 1 2019. We're staying on 2019. Echo goes 9 fast at the moment on the medium tyre, and that might not be safe for Echo at the moment. You can see then a lot of pit activity there, isn't it? As the cars have just been wheeled in. That is Fisher, the man who is sitting pretty at the top there, and Murphy flying into. Was it Murphy? I think it was Laggy actually flying into the pits there, and my goodness me, he was taking no prisoners there on board. Nigel then, as we said, the season 1 champion. Yeah, so season 1 and season 2 then. So the first time we've won the same game. So we are expecting the times to get quicker. We're expecting the performances to be even higher next season. And there are some I gotta say, next season's gonna be brilliant, isn't it? Of course, we are expanding into 2 leagues as well next season, with Silver making its debut as well, which will be on Monday nights. So mark this in your calendar, everyone. January the 12th will be Gold, and January the 13th will be Silver. So, of course, this is why we picked Sundays and Mondays, is because usually they're probably the most depressing days of the week, isn't it? When ALR is around, oh, it's definitely not depressing at all. But obviously you need to mute it, because otherwise if you listen to me, then my goodness me, that is depressing in and of itself, isn't it? Anyway, enough about that. Nigel's coming down the back straight, and you can see then, curiously, the back straight there is, it loses the lane, doesn't it? Which is really odd in itself, isn't it? It's, so that's why the drivers seem to just float in no man's land, don't they? Usually the drivers are on the edge of the track, aren't they? To minimise the turn of the car, which of course will ultimately slow you down if you take more of a tighter line than you should have. We're just coming in sector 2. We've got yellow flags. I think it's just behind Nigel there. We have got Maguna saying, "You're man for the helmet, Sean." Indeed, I am. And we've also got Silent saying, "Shame I can't race this one. Next season's going to be fun now." Indeed, it is. Of course, Silent, a part of the draw next season, along with Gunnar as well. Of course, Gunnar is. We were talking about Jonathan's incredible stats this season of being involved in all 21 races this season, and Nigel, I think, just kissed the barrier there. That is fine, as long as you don't clout it. Well, that's alright. You just give it a little left tap there. Final corner then for Nigel. Let's see what he can do then. The man who won the first ever league, and he is second fastest on the medium tires. That is an eye opener, isn't it? My goodness me. Well, that's really, that would have made me a bit that would have made me a little chill, wouldn't it? Jonathan there, he's coming across the line, and he goes fastest still, while Jonathan's completely chill, and he is the man who's fast on the medium tire as well. The track is starting to ramp up, isn't it? Here comes a man who's ramping up as well. Here's Granty flying through the turn 1 and 2 then. Here comes Mr. Elite then, who is back in the Alfa Romeo, and let's see what he can do. Hopefully got a better Abu Dhabi race than what he did in Brazil. And now then as he flicks it through turn 19. Now turn 19, we've seen a couple of incidents there, haven't we, over the week? With drivers just seeming to have it understeer there, and they just float into the barrier there, which is really odd, isn't it? Mr. Elite comes across the line, and he's only 12th fast at the moment. Mr. Elite is. That's put himself under pressure, and he's got enough time to come back in the pits though and stick on a set of. Is that Grant there? It's just coming through the second chicane now. We did catch him at an awkward time there, didn't we? Because I was a bit concerned there that he was slowing down, but it's all right. He's carrying on. Grant is. Remember that tonight is about crowning season 2 ALR champion. And it is only between Emerson and Granty. No one else is going to be champion. It's going to be one of those two, and that is what is making this really intriguing tonight, isn't it? Granty, the man who goes on, is the master of the hard tires, isn't he? Granty, he seems to go on an alternative strategy and makes it work absolutely beautifully well, doesn't he? And I got to say, he's had a strong season. Remember, this is rookie season in ALR. Made his debut back in Australia with the Williams team. And he's at the wall as well. He's at the wall as well. Is he damaged the car? No, he's all right. Again, like Nigel, just a glancing blow into turn 21 now. Let's see what this time is. And he is aiming for a 35.2. It's not a 35.2. It's a 35.9 there. He is behind his chart. Look at that. 300ths of a second again separates Emerson and Granty. My goodness me, they're putting on a show tonight, aren't they? And wow, good stuff indeed. I reckon they talked about this before, didn't they? This is very tense indeed, isn't it? If they finish 5th and 6th, then this is how close it is. If they finish 5th and 6th, Granty will win by a single point, because there's 2 points between 5th and 6th, and that is 10 points and 8 points. So wow. Oh my goodness me, here comes a William there who's flicking it through the coming through the technical section now. What about Murphy? What's he doing? He's in the second sector at the moment. We'll leave Murphy to it for the moment. So we're just watching William there flying through the camera. There he is. Where? There he is. He's coming through now. And he flicks it into turn 20 and 21 then. And here he goes then. And what is William going to do then? He is in 10th position at the moment. He's on the cusp. That throws him up to 4th position. Is that safe? Well, I'm not sure about that, because we've got 4 minutes to go. Then you can see that the Abu Dhabi flag is fluttering in the breeze. How beautiful. And William, that is in the same position. Murphy goes second fastest. William is retired from the session. Murphy is second, and that's a good time there from Murphy. Is he safe as well? Well, he's only 200ths off of John there. John's had a mega lap on the medium tire, hasn't he? My goodness me. Here comes Lights there. He is just starting his lap moment. Granty is 8th as it stands. He might need to get a shift on, because I'm wondering if he's going to, because normally he does like to start on the harder of the 2 compounded top, well, on the medium or hard tire, doesn't he? But I wonder if he might just throw on a set of soft, because today is very much Judgment Day, isn't it? About who's going to be the second ALR Season 2 champion. And so really, I wonder if he might play it safe here. Well, he's not playing it safe. Who knows? Because who knows? This is so up in the air, isn't it, with strategy and stuff. Well, for me, I don't really know what's going on at all. Lights are a bit slow on the DRS there, but he might be confident in that Red Bull's slippery straights. Well, we find out he's a 10th of a second up in the second sector without DRS for the first third of that straight. So fair play there to Lights there. He's got a very slippery car. He's going to be a difficult man to overtake, isn't he? He might be the Petrov actually in this showdown later on. Who knows? Grant and Everson might get stuck behind one of the guys that are not fighting for the championship, who've got a very slippery car, and Lights might be one of them. But of course, I think the Lights might be more up the field than around the. Well, I reckon the Lights will be definitely at the forefront because he's looking a very strong driver indeed, isn't he? Making his debut tonight, and my goodness me, he is fitting in like a glove. And he goes a 10 faster than Lights does, and he is on the medium tire. He ain't going to have time to come back in and go back out on the softs then. So it might be slightly nervy times there for Lights. Twang is very nervous for Twang in the moment. He's 2/10 of a second outside the top 10. Twang car 24. So this is going to he needs to get himself sorted, isn't it? 1 minute to go. Well, 1 minute and 47 seconds to go for Twang. And as you can see, he's coming down the back straight. He's switched it all off, so he's not happy with that at all. So at least he'll get the best track conditions, but those tyres will not be shiny, or they will not be super grippy anymore. So he would have had an extra lap done. So that is not ideal for Twang at the moment. But at least he's still in the ballpark at the moment, on board with Brandon, or Brendan as I like to call him. He's coming down the back straight now, just taking a look to see what Echo is doing. He was just on the back straight, and here's new F1 there, or Brandon going through the chicane then, and now out of it, and they come up into the sweeping final section. Then, well, it's more technical, isn't it, really? This is more of a point and squirt section, this is, isn't it? Now you can see breaking down, coming into the hotel then, now into turn 18 then, before coming under the hotel into turn 19. And let's see what he does. And there's a technical pro power out there, which I think sticks out a little, which really does cut the drivers out, doesn't it? Brandon flinging through turn 20, into turn 21. Look at the fuel light, it's flashing. Oh, lovely green and yellow helmet there as well. Coming through the final corner, and Brandon goes fastest on a 35-1 there. My goodness me. Good lap there from Brandon. We thought it was good, didn't we? When we was on board, it was looking spectacular. What about Echo? He's 4/10 of a second up. He's almost 5/10 of a second up there. Flicks it through turn 20, into turn 21 now then. Echo is a new star of the future, isn't he? He was incredible in Brazil. What's he doing today? He is second fast as well. Nothing special, he says. My goodness me. He loves to deceive me. He is in second position at the moment, and only 700 a second behind at new F1. Nice. Mr. Elite is out on track at the moment. We got Stringy out there as well. It's a very busy time. Twang is now having a more attacking lap here. Laggy is very close to the cusp. He is on the limit, isn't he? Granty is also on the limit as well. He flicks it through turn 1. Emerson is out there as well. Emerson and Granty are very close to the cut-off point at the moment. My goodness me. And Laggy is 700 a second down at the moment, and I've forgotten my bottle of water, so this is going to be I'm going to be losing my voice, and Laggy Racer there flicking it through turn 19. Now there's 21 turns around here, and I thought that was going into the wall, to be honest, so that coverage angle just really threw me. Echo and both Toro Rosso boys have not in this session now, so Echo I think should be through. William is going to be very nervous. Lights will be very nervous as well. What about Laggy? He is out qualified. What a shame for Laggy. What about Twang? He's a 10th of a second up. Is it good enough? It is good enough. He's in 9th this mode. Emerson is right on the cusp now, and so is Grantier. What about Stringy? And Mr. Elite then coming through the final turn, and Stringy, what's he not Stringy, Mr. Elite goes a length faster. It's not good enough for Stringy then. So we have lost, currently we've lost Mr. Elite, we've lost Laggy, we've lost Storm. Storm is out of qualifying as well on his return. What about Stringy then? He flicked it through, and let's see what he's going to do then. He is aiming for at least a 35.9, but I think that he might need to aim for 35.7. He's even better than that. He has done a 35.1. That's fantastic. Granty is in the is in the final sets now. No, so is Emerson. Both the championship rivals are the last two out then. This is incredible stuff. It's almost scripted here. And here comes Emerson cut across the line now. Is he going to be enough? It is enough. It is enough. He is through and into Q3. What about Granty then? Granty comes across the line now as well. 4/10 of a second. Oh no then. And he comes across the line now then. He needs to aim for, and it's even better. Look at that. Again, it's incredible. Wow. These guys cannot be separated at the moment. This is fantastic, isn't it? My goodness me. So Wow, I gotta say, I think this is working out beautifully well, isn't it? I reckon Nosey must have read a script to him last night or something. This is incredible, isn't it? Granty fastest. Second is Emerson. Look at that, just under a tenth of a second separates Granty and Emerson in the battle for Season 2 ALR champion. This is getting very tense already, isn't it? My goodness me. Really is indeed. New F1 in third position, Stringy fourth, nicely done. Echo fifth, Jonathan sixth. Seventh is Murphy, eighth position is Fisher, ninth is Nigel, and tenth position was William as well. So Granty fast in sector 2 then. Incredible stuff from Granty. As Storm said, you said you're going to run 2 divisions there. What days is will they run? Well, still, well, we'll come back to this in a minute because I need to. We just need to go through the classification, shall we, from Q2. Storm there is out, unfortunately, there, but he did his best time on the medium tire, so there's more to come from Storm, I'm sure of it. Laggy out of qualifying, Mr. Lee, Twang and Lights has all been knocked out of Q2 there, but they will be able to start on whatever tires they want. The top 10 can't know, and the top 10 is William, who's on soft, and Nigel is on the medium. Soft for Fisher and Murphy, medium for Jonathan Cox, and then Echo, Stringy, New F1, Emerson and Granty are all on the soft tire then. Wow, I've got to say then, there's quite a favourite for the soft tire around here, isn't there? And it's going to be interesting. We've got 2 men on the medium tire there. Sorry, I was just going back to Storm now. You said there's going to be 2 divisions. What days they run? Of course, Sunday and Monday then. Of course, the gold will be running Sunday, same time of 6:30. And of course, Monday will be 7:30, I hope. I hope I got that right. 7:30 on Monday nights. And that will be the silver. That'll be the silver league as well. Brilliant, isn't it? So we've also got Grillsy saying that John's lap was mega. It really was, wasn't it? Echo for you. Echo, I'll tell you what, that was a good lap there from Echo, wasn't it? We got Trang saying, well, that was a he basically said that was a poor lap. He is really not happy with that at all. Yeah, so I think yes, that's a shame time, but it's all about the race, isn't it? We have also got Grant going, wow, incredible stuff, and Storm saying 1.1 seconds slower than the next medium. But of course, Storm now we are expecting, but don't worry about that. It's all about the race. We've got Light saying I've been knocked out by 100th of a second. I know, it was so close, wasn't it? Q2, incredible stuff, and Twan says I forgot to say fan favourite. I did say fan favourite earlier on, Twan. So that just shows how much you listen to me. I'm hurt. Anyway, enough about that. As you can see, we've got everyone out apart from William and Stringy. Wow, this track is going to be like it's going to be like the Monday morning traffic, isn't it? And this track is 5.5 kilometers long, but they will trip over each other because they all want the same piece of tarmac, don't they? And well, hopefully we won't have a similar issue to what we did in Monza, will we? And as we come down into the second half, Twan didn't hear that. Well, I'll be saying that at the race, Twan. Don't worry about that. Of course, Twan is the fan favourite, isn't he? As he's always in the comments, isn't he? Twan is when he's racing or when he's spectating. Great stuff indeed. 10 minutes ago, then we have a 12-minute session. This is all out now. So no more strategic calls. This is about being the fastest driver on this day, on this time of the 15th of December 2019. Who is going to be the quickest driver? We're on board with the man who I don't think he was quickest this time last year. I think he was on pole last year, wasn't he? Nigel was in that one-shot qualifying, and he's about to start now. But Jonathan is the first man to start his time, I think he is anyway. So let's go on board with Jonathan then, and of course he invalidated his first run in Q2. Let's hope he doesn't do it in Q3. You can see look at the shine of those tires. It's incredible, isn't it? Now now day turns into light now, as you can see then, as the lights is now starting to take over, and these cars look fantastic on the lights, don't it? I got to say, I do enjoy a good night race. Of course, the first ever night race was back in Singapore, wasn't it? In 2008. Then 2009, this track came along, and we had a dusk race, didn't we? And I think it was the first show that the practice was on as well. I remember just being stuck to glued to my TV because it looked fantastic. This circuit did. Still looks fantastic 10 years later, don't it? And Jonathan there is coming down into the second chicane, and accelerating away then, and look at that then on the rumble strips there, and then And now then, as he is now down the back straight once again, and Mark Grillsy saying Jonathan's got this. Indeed he has at the moment, hasn't he? Of course, then the man who, I'm surprised at this stat there for Jonathan. He's only had one pole position this season. I've got to say, one of Jonathan's strongest attributes is one lap pace. He's incredible one lap pace, isn't he? Of course, then really he's always on the ball, always on the pace, isn't he? In the qualifying session, but this season in ALR just hasn't. I think qualifying is usually one of his strong points, and he's gone very wide there, hasn't he? And that has definitely compromised him, Jonathan, hasn't it? This is not the most I don't think this is the most cleanest lap for Jonathan here, but let's see what he can do. It's still looking reasonably good there. It's a 35.0 there for Jonathan, and Emerson a 35. Look at that, he just pips it just very close there. Nigel was very close there to Emerson. Nigel was, so I think his lap was compromised. Here comes Fisher then. Echo has gone full fastest in the Toro Rosso. Here comes Fisher then coming across the line, and he's usually a man in the frame for pole position, and he's invalid this time. That's not ideal at all. Granty has gone faster still. Granty is on pole position mode. Granty's got a pole position as well this season. What about Murphy then? He is the man who is the king of pole positions. Let's see what he can do. Is he still going to be the king of pole positions after this session? Let's find out. He is very fast at the moment in the Ferrari. It's a Renault 1-2 there. Renault just showing them how strong they are on the constructors there. Stringy then, I was going to call him a Fishy then, so that was a combination of Fisher and Stringy. He's coming up to the line now. Here comes Stringy coming across the line then. Let's see what he can do then. And you can see there's a bit of a divot there down into the start finish straight, and he is 7 fastest at the moment. Echo is 8 fastest. Fisher has not done a representative time yet. Granty has. He's on pole position at the moment. This could be his second pole position in the season, and Granty, and what a place to do it when it is when it's all up in the air at the moment. That is the best place to start for Granty. Incredible stuff. New F1, he is 200 of a second separates the two Renault drivers. Incredible, isn't it, the Renault drivers at the moment. Murphy on a 34.9 in the Haas at the moment. Jonathan on a 35. I think he can do a bit better than that. Jonathan did. I think he had a scrappy end to the lap there, so there's more to come from the Pink Panther. Nigel in 6th position at the moment then. On a 35.2 again, I think Nigel was too close to the back of Granty there, which didn't help his cause at all. And we got Stringy in 7th position. 8th position is Echo. Fisher there invalidated his times in 9th position. Can Fisher get his 3rd pole position of the season then? And that'll be joint top with Murphy. I can't believe how low the pole positions have been this season. It's incredible. It just shows incredible racecraft, doesn't it? We're on board with William then, and it's a lovely over-the-shoulder shot here. I gotta say, I do love those camera angles, don't they? And oh my goodness me, Jonathan was very close out of turning into William. Maybe he sitting in his mirrors there and was a bit relaxed about it, but my goodness me, I wasn't. William there comes across the line then, and he starts his lap now then in the Toro Rosso. Remember, Toro Rosso got 2 drivers into Q3 again here tonight, and Toro Rosso are having an almighty scrap in the constructors, aren't they? As they are only they are battling for 2nd position at the moment, Toro Rosso are. So this is ideal. They just need to keep themselves at I think they're third in the constructors actually, aren't they? Not 2nd. So yeah, they sneak in front of the Pink Panthers. That is going to be a question. We're going to keep an eye on all of that as the race goes on. But don't take my word for it, because my mass is appalling. William there is just coming down the back straight. Is Stringy going for another lap? No, he's in the pits now then. So Stringy just having a bit of a cruise back to the pits then. 5 minutes ago, William there is kind of done the opposite there. So he's a bit out of sync with the other drivers at the moment. But the beauty of that is he's got a completely clear track, which Nigel didn't, which is why he's compromised. And I think he can go a bit quicker than that. So we're just on board then with Williams down the back straight at the moment. We've got Major League Gamer going hi. I sub. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff indeed, Major League Gamer. Brilliant. I love it. And we've also got Twang saying I got a 34.2 in TT. Official conditions there, so I think the Twan there really didn't get the best effort here tonight, did he? But as I said, points are awarded in the race there, so it's not all doom and gloom. Granty saying let's go Renaults. Incredible stuff. Renault just celebrating their constructors win in fine style as well, aren't they? And we got Storm saying think I need to go to bronze tier. Well, no, definitely not. Of course, then is you probably haven't had much practice around here, and I'm sure that all these guys have been pounding around the track, haven't they? So William goes at 7 fast at the moment, and he has slotted himself in between Nigel and Strain mode. So that's the first part of qualifying done, isn't it really? So now we're going to have a bit of a lull as we're watching William come back into the pits then. So Granty at the moment is going for a 2nd pole position, but remember, he haven't had Fisher set a representative time yet, and I think Nigel needs to have a clear lap as well. Murphy in 3rd position at the moment, and I got to say, this is very tense indeed, isn't it? I'm loving this. Brilliant stuff, Ben. as the Villeneuve comes down the back straight then. And of course then the race is coming up in just a few moments as well, everyone. Of course that is the beauty about ALR, is that the race and qualifying is all on the same day, and that is absolutely lovely stuff indeed. And of course then, whilst we're on the low, I can give you some facts now, since Nosey was really interested about some of the facts of Abu Dhabi. I gotta say, I haven't really got many of Abu Dhabi to be honest. It's not part of the country. I gotta say the country is absolutely incredible, isn't it? But the race itself, I wouldn't say is been the most entertaining races. We all remember 2010, don't we? Because of that incredible tense battle, which we're going to have one here tonight, I can assure you. And between Alonso, Weber, Vettel, and Hamilton for the title. Of course, there's a four-way fight. But our title fight tonight is much more close than that. And it's a 3-point separate them. So Grant and Emerson basically need to keep. Basically, they can finish next to each other and still it can go one way or the other. It's incredible, isn't it? As Villeneuve is coming, I wonder if he's going to go again. He's been doing a lot of harvesting in this lap, but no, he's in the pits. So he's got we've got two. He's got 2 minutes and 3/4 to get out there. I wonder if New F1's going to give Granty a tow here. This is going to be interesting, isn't it? Well, at the moment, New F1 is in front of Granty, so this is going to be interesting. Bit of team play here. Emerson hasn't got a teammate, has he? So, of course, with Fireshot, he's put his feet up for tonight. So I think that I think Emerson's got to kind of go it alone, or does he? Is there allegiances in this field? Who knows? Who knows? This is great, isn't it? Although a good good conspiracy. Well, at the moment there, Granty is still he's got a 6-second buffer, hasn't he, back to New F1, which I suppose is all right. But I think New F1 is launched off now, hasn't he? So yeah, I think that's tow might have just been me. Picking something out of nothing, which is standard stuff, really, isn't it? New F1 now coming through the final turn now, and let's go. 2 minutes to go in this qualifying session, the final qualifying session of 2019. Let's see what these guys can do then. Remember, it's all about to be the fastest driver is just such an honour, isn't it? I know no points are awarded, but grid position can be king, can it? Even though around this circuit, there's Emerson there. He just needs to make sure he gets out of his way. Emerson has got well, he's got about plenty of time. I think he's got about a 10-15 second buffer to get to the line. So he can't cruise too much around here. He needs to get on it if he wants to have another crack at that pole position. Remember, Emerson's only had one pole position this season, which I find an incredible stat. Like Jonathan as well, who've only had one pole position. It just it's incredible, isn't it? Yeah, flags him too. It's just Emerson there, just getting out of the way at the moment. Granty, according to the graphic up there, Granty's done one lap on those soft tyres. I'm not sure if I believe that or not, but we'll find out in a moment. New F1 there coming through the second DRS zone as well, and he is now coming down the back straight. Of course, he's had a very good season, hasn't he, New F1 in ALR since debuting. He's had this is his 8th race start tonight, and he's accumulated 65 points in those 7 race starts so far. He's had a pole position, 3 podiums, a fastest lap. And he's out qualified his teammate 4 times, so that's incredible, isn't it? Because his teammate has been Granty most of the season. Well, I think all the season, hasn't it? So yeah, that's impressive in on itself. Now he's coming to turn 20. Let's see what he can do. Is he going to snatch pole position away from Granty? Is he going to get a second pole position? We'll find out now. Both Renault drivers are on 1 pole position each. Here he comes, and this is the final corner, and he's on pole position. He's gained a 10th of a second. What about Granty? Granty comes across the line, and he's not improved. He's 700 of a second down, so Granty's going to finish second. And Murphy, I don't think it's still on an outlap moment, so he ain't going to set a time then. Oh my goodness me, they're all on outlaps by it looks, and that's it. So I think Murphy just got through. William, I think I'm out of sync, I think I am. Anyway, enough about Murphy has it though. Murphy is out qualified. He has timed it wrong. That is appalling luck for Murphy, and he is done. And wow, that's a shame then. Fisher's fastest. Fisher's on pole position by 34.7 by, wow, look at that, 400 of a second separates himself from Brandon. Fisher is on pole position, and he has equalled the record of pole position this season, 3 apiece between himself and Murphy. Wow, that is incredible, isn't it? Stringy is out on track. William is just made it through. We got yellow flags floating out there as well. Jonathan is on and up. So is Emerson, who just made it through then. So we got all sorts going on at the moment then. Emerson, we're on board with Emerson at the moment. His championship rival was on pole position about a couple of minutes ago. Now that's not the case at all. A yellow flag in 2 then. Jonathan is also on track as well. We got got Nigel, though, who is just slipstreaming Emerson, and William as well. What about Stringy? Stringy is 3-10 as a 10th for a second down. They're coming into the final sector now. Let's see. This has to be a mega final sector there from Stringy. This is the final couple of corners now. Look how much of runoff area he's got. He left a lot of time on the table there, didn't he? In turn 20, he comes through and he improved by 2/10 of a second. That's an incredible final time there from Stringy there, but unfortunately doesn't improve his time. There's a Renault going off the track there, and we've also got so here comes Nigel then. I think, was that Emerson slowing down? Was that Emerson slowing down? Yeah, slow down. Emerson is only going to be 5th fastest in this session, which means he's going to be at least on the 5th row. Here comes Nigel coming around the final corner. This I think a more clean run for Nigel. Let's see what he can do. Let's see what he can do. Nigel goes 5th fast. He displaces Emerson down to 6th then. Granty is just finished. What about Jonathan? Jonathan's in pole position. An incredible time there from Jonathan, and that is his 2nd pole position of the season. He steals the pole position away from Fisher, which means that Murphy's going to be absolutely loving that, because Murphy is now the highest pole sitter of the season 2 of ALR with 3 pole positions. That seems so low, doesn't it? But just incredible how the season's been. Fisher there is on the front row, but Jonathan Cox at the death has got pole position, his 2nd pole position of the season, and wow, what a time to get it. And I gotta say, Grillsy absolutely nailed that spot on prediction there from Grillsy. Incredible stuff. Congratulations to Jonathan getting a pole position there, and Murphy there even giving him a fist bump in Formula 1 car terms anyway. So well done there to Jonathan. He's taken pole position, and incredible stuff there from the British Italian driver, and his 2nd pole position season. I wonder if he'll be able to get his 2nd win as well here tonight. This is going to be fantastic, isn't it? Let's take a look at the final classifications from this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix qualified. Jonathan pole position by 2/10 of a second. My goodness me. Fisher only got 1 running in the end, but he got himself on the front row. But it's an all yellow for 2nd front row, isn't it? With Brandon in front of Granty, 3rd and 4th. Murphy is in 5th position with Nigel in 6th position. The outgoing champion is 6th. Emerson is in 7th position with William in 8th position. Toro Rosso boys doing a good job of William and Echo, nicely done as well. Stringy completes the top 10, and my goodness me, and I gotta say, Emerson's got a lot of work to do, hasn't he, in the race coming up in a few seconds time then. And Martin Gross going boom, yes, come on Grancy, yes, so well done to Jonathan there. Elko saying roll on next season, and Jonathan saying he gained 5/10 in sector 3. My goodness me, that was a monster ass effort there from Jonathan. Incredible stuff from the British Italian there. Sorry, I forgot to speak then. Anyway, all this excitement there, my goodness, it's not good for me, is it? Anyway, here we go then, as we go down into the race time. Emerson just comments saying this the tension's killing me, and he unfortunately messed up his final up there. So, because I got to say, in terms of I know that this was Granty's debut season in ALR, as is Emerson as well, but Granty's got a lot more experience in league racing than Emerson has, hasn't he? I wonder if that's going to come to the forefront. We'll find out in the next 45 minutes time then. I have positioned myself intently on the edge of my seat, and I hope all you guys have at home then. This is it then. One more race of season 2 of ALR, one more race of 2019 before going to 2020, the last race of the decade. My goodness me. And I've got to say, this is absolutely poised, isn't it, to what is going to be an incredible race. I have no doubt about that. And a lovely shot here. As you can see, the sun is about to set in. It's a showdown. It's sundown, as Crofty said one year. And it certainly is here tonight. Let's go through the grid positions then for 28 laps around Abu Dhabi on the 28th, on the final corner. In 28 laps time, we'll find out who will be season 2 champion. On pole position for only the 2nd time this season, Jonathan, the British Italian, on the medium compound tyre in the Pink Panther. Fisher is alongside him on row 1. Fisher was so close to equaling that tally of 3 pole positions with Murphy. Brandon in 3rd position with Granty in 4th. Murphy is in 5th position in the Ferrari. 6th position is Nigel. 7th position is Emerson at the moment. He's got a lot of work to do, hasn't he, in the Haas. 8th position is William in the Toro Rosso. 9th position is Echo in the 2nd Toro Rosso. 10th position is Stringy. Lights making his debut in 11th position, and let's see what he could do. Lights can. Well, he's already impressed me because he's in front of the likes of Twang, Mr. Elite, Laggy, Storm, Sam, Forza, Gunnar and Steve, so he's impressive talent, isn't he? Twang is in 12th position. Mr. Elite is in 13th position. A very consistent driver, isn't he? Mr. Elite is. Laggy in 14th position. 15th position on his return is a Storm. So let's see what Storm can do from 15th on the grid. Sam is in 16th position in the Mercedes. Of course, very sim. This is also his first ever league season, and I think he's done a very good job there. Forza making his debut as well in 17th position. Unfortunately, had a spin which compromised his final qualifying run. So he hasn't shown his true pace either in the Williams. Gunnar is in 18th position in the McLaren. He's got a big job to do in the McLaren today to keep him from the bottom of the standings. And Williams Steve is another man who is fighting for the Williams team to get themselves off the bottom of the Constructors' Championship. 19 cars around Abu Dhabi. Jonathan is just singling them all up now. Medium tyres for Jonathan, for Nigel, as Lights has left the session, for Jonathan, for Nigel, for Laggy, and Storm and Forza. Everyone else is on the soft compound tyre then. Here we go then. We have got good luck, Grant, he's saying from all the drivers, and I think that's also to Emerson as well. This is incredibly tense, isn't it? As I say, you can cut the tension with a butter knife, isn't it? That is how incredible. I gotta say, I'm just as tense as the guys down there. It's gonna be incredible, isn't it? Here we go then. We have 5 lights to come on. When they go out, we'll be off in Abu Dhabi. We are racing! No, we ain't, because the Lights has gone already, and Lights has had an incredible start here, but that's not what I'm interested in. Now it's go! Jonathan has got a good start there. Fisher's not had a very good start at all, because Brandon's already up alongside him, but Fisher's got the inside into one, but Brandon's done a beautiful job there, and he is on his way, and Brandon is going to go on the outside. He is through. Jonathan does a Ferrari in the wall, that's a Ferrari in the wall, and Emerson's in the wall as well. Emerson is in the wall. This is an appalling start from Emerson. Murphy is out of the race. Emerson is down to the front wing. This is not good at all for the championship contender. Oh no! And Murphy and Dad has come together, and we've got Lights there, who is flying away at the moment, and yeah, I think it was a decent. Jonathan leads Brandon in second. Fisher is all over the back of Brandon in the battle for second position. He's going to go alongside him. He's going to go alongside him. He's going down into turn 1. Sorry, not turn 1, into whatever turn that is. And he's back in front then. So the 2 Renner boys are just side by side. But at the moment, Granty is the world champion. Mr. Elite then is through. Storm is battling with the Ferrari of oh my goodness me, that's Sam going off as well. Murphy has left the session and he is absolutely distraught. That's 2 races in a row where he's been knocked off the track. Laggy is going to go up the inside of Storm. He is up the inside of Storm now. He is through and up into 12th position. Storm is dropped down to 13th then. And Mr. Lee's got a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings already. Laggy going off the curb there. And Lights has left the session there. So Lights is having problems at getting back into his car. Forza is in 17th position. Emerson needs a safety car now, doesn't he? Jonathan is leading this race then. And he is, I got to say, he's had a perfect start, isn't he? Lights is now dropping down the field because he is not in this race, is he? So that is a shame there for Lights there, isn't it, on his debut? It's not done too well at all. That one completely done, as you see. Jonathan is on the medium compound tyre then. So the big winners then, well, can't really see much, but the biggest loser in this is, unfortunately, Laggy's in the pits, is Emerson. He's dropped down 11 positions. It's gone all wrong, hasn't it? Drama in the opening stages. What, we've only just done 1 lap. Oh my goodness me, that's Fisher off, Fisher's off, Jonathan is off as well. Oh my goodness me, there's 2 retirements, the top 2 out of this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Whoa, what happened there? Incredible stuff here in Abu Dhabi. And we've got a Stream's got a 5-place grid penalty. Lights has joined again. Emerson's in the pits. We've had a big old smash there. Brandon leads the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Grant has moved up to second. Jonathan and Fisher are both out of the race. They're both out of the race already in this race. Oh my goodness me. We're coming down the back straight there. Nigel's in 3rd position, William 4th, Echo 5th, Stringy 6th, 7th, Triangle 8, Storm is now in the 9th position, Steve is going up to 10th position then, and oh my goodness me, Sam is down into 12th position, well, Gunnar is at 13th, Forza up into 14th, good stuff. Laggy is just coming on the pits now, and Emerson, he has got a lot of work to do, he's down in 16th position, his teammate is Championship Rover leads the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and as we come into, he's passed UF1 and got into the lead then. Oh my goodness me, and you see that this is going to be a fight, and look at the Toro Rosso guys all battling away, and now Sam is also got by New Lights as well, and I think New Lights just commented and asking how you can get back in the session. I think if you just join, can't you just take control of your car? I think you can anyway, but I'm not too sure. that is a smash in the background. That is a huge smash in the background there, and that is one of the that's the Alpha male that has gone into the wall in the turn 19. Oh my goodness me, it's incredible stuff. Storm is in the pits there, and also in the pits there is Mr. Elite as well. Grant has set the fast of the race. We have lost Jonathan, Fisher and Murphy. All that is huge names gone already. Mr. Elite is in the pits as well, as is Storm. Storm is coming in the pits now to change his front wing. He's also got a 5-place he's got a 5-second grip penalty at the moment. And unfortunately, Lights won't let him get control of the car there. Lights, this is such a shame for Lights. This is not on his debut. He had a fantastic start. My goodness me, left the cars behind, didn't he? But unfortunately, since then, it's just not gone well at all. Mr. Elite is on the soft tyre as Laggy has gone through as well. Now Emerson, then he is going to have the drive of his life, isn't he? And unfortunately, I don't think he's driving a Peugeot, is he? So this is not going to be good at all at the moment for Emerson. He's at the inside. The street he's passed Echo and moved up into 5th position. But now Echo will have the DRS for the second part, and Stringy's on the pole in exit, hasn't he? Now then his Echo is gaining again. Oh my goodness me, he almost goes into the back wing, and this is the button number, and now Stringy there is flying the flag from McLaren. This is good for McLaren. Steve is now up to the for the Echo. Stringy's going to go on the inside, but not quite. Echo, great driving there, fantastic stuff from these guys. Really good stuff here in Abu Dhabi, as Gunnar is now all over the back of Forza, who is in 10th position. He's currently in the points for us. It's good stuff. Unfortunately, Lights can't get control of his car then, and it is such a shame then. Just catching up with the comments there. We got Richard saying, keep your head up, Emerson, you can do this. It is Gunnar's gone wide there. Emerson is down in 15th position. He needs a safety car, he needs something, doesn't he, out of the ordinary. Jonathan there lost it in turn 3, same with Fisher as well. Jonathan and Fisher, they both had exactly the same problem, didn't they? As now Storm is now coming to the back of Emerson, hasn't he? Emerson there, yes, I think Richard's exactly right. He needs to keep his head, doesn't he, in this very tense Grand Prix. It's gone wrong on the opening lap there, hasn't it? Him and Emerson were looks, I'm not sure if they come together or what, but they were but it just didn't go well at all. We're on board Twang then, who's up into 7th position at the moment. Echo is 5th, Stringy is 6th, Laggy is at the fast lap. Very incredible time there from Laggy there, so really throwing the gauntlet down for the but that fast lap later on then. Nigel is just 3/10 of a second behind Brandon at the moment then, and of course there's Brandon Motors is Grant. He's at rear gunner at the moment. Granty is on 3 wins. Won't this be his 4th win? Will it be? Oh my goodness me, Twang has gone right. It's misjudged breaking point. He's gone straight on at the end of the straight in turn 8, I think it is, and now Stringy there is all over the back of Echo, isn't he? Look at this, and he is flying by then. He is up into 5th position. Look at that in the foreground, and Stringy is through, and he's just defending his Echo. Has dropped down to 6th position. Echo is saying, don't expect anything special from me, but my goodness me, Granty is really struggling. He's on the pole back straight there, hasn't he, Granty has? I'm wondering what's going on then for Granty then. I'm wondering if he just made a mistake then, but at the moment he's in the box seats. Remember, he had a 3-point lead going into this race then. If he won today, it didn't matter what Emerson did, he would have been champion, and it's same with Emerson as well. If Emerson won, it wouldn't matter what Granty would, then he would have been champion. That's how close it would have been. Look in the background, there's William. He's on a very strong race at the moment, isn't he? And they Nigel, they're getting very wild coming out of turn 20 then at the moment then, so just on board then, and we're now floating through into turn 1 then. Lights just asked for one of the commentators to see if we can add him in, invite him back in. Well, I could, but I'm streaming at the moment, so I'm wondering, hopefully if Nosy could, then possibly, but yeah, I'm not sure if he knows what your gamer tag is. And oh my goodness, Sam there almost, and he's trying to get back on the track. He's spinning it, he's in the grass there, Sam is. And Sam there he was like trying to get hold of a ball there, wasn't it, from Sam there, and that is not good at all for Sam, and that is not good at all. So really, what a shame there. But hopefully he can get himself back into this. Echo's definitely on another battle there, isn't he? And oh my goodness me, as they're battling down into turn 8 then, and Jonathan there, I think it's just he's really good because that pole up was superb. It really was for Jonathan. That was the 2nd pole of the season, but unfortunately there's going to be no race win today. Jonathan is out of the race. Fisher and Murphy are out as well. Emerson is down in 15th position mode. Echo is going to go up the inside, but Stringy there blocks him off, covers the line, and he is away. And this is the closest battle on track at the moment. Is these two. And my goodness me, Stringy was involved in that epic battle in Oh, was involved in that epic battle. And look, Echo's going to stick on the inside. Lights has just joined again then, so hopefully Lights can take control of his car. And I've got to say, Lights had the best start of the season. I think if we had an award for that, then I think he's won it hands down. So we're now coming through then under the hotel then. And look at them as they flick it through turn 19. Where are they? There they are as well. Mr. Lee also smashed in there earlier on. Luckily, it's Granty, and Granty's in the pits. So Granty's in the pits after only 4 laps. This is interesting there from the man then. So he is... I think all he's going to be concerned about today all he's concerned about today is just being the champion, isn't he? And so I don't think he's really concerned. So he does really. I don't think is he concerned about the race? I don't think he is, isn't he? But of course, I think championship. I think the champion is what he wants, isn't it? And he is coming. He's come back out on the medium tires. That is definitely a 2-stopper, I think, from Granty's point of view. And you can see then he is out in the top 10 still. Granty is, and he is still in control at the moment. And who's that? That's Mr. Elite there, and he's got off the track there. And that's unfortunate for Mr. Elite. Then of course he's had a couple of weeks absent. And I don't think he's I think he's going to definitely be a bit race rusty, isn't it? And so that's a shame. Now got a yellow flag in 1 and 2. We're on board with Emerson in 1 and 2. What has gone on in 1 and 2? It is Sam. Sam is off at the same place again there. He's got a very floaty rear end by the look Sam has, and he keeps spinning off at turn 3. Remember though, that his teammate and Jonathan have both had problems down there as well. So it's a very difficult place, isn't it? I got to say, I've been in the wars. Oh my goodness me! And Striggy is in 4th position with Echo all over the back of him. Twang has got like a 3-second penalty at the moment. So look at him, he's pushing him through the final sector at the moment then. And now they're flicking it through then the fast part of the section here. We're only on lap 6. This is an incredible race. We're only on lap 6, and Emerson's just got to keep his head up, hasn't he? He's in 13th position at the moment. He's gaining on Lights' Ghost at the moment. I'm not sure if Lights is back in or not. We'll find out in a few moments time. Look at them flicking it through then the we're flicking it through turn 19, I think it is. And Stringy's in the pits as well. New F1 is in the pits. They're all coming in the pits early because Nigel takes the lead then at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Remember, hit the moment. Nigel is the most successful ALR driver in history with 6 wins. With 6 wins at the moment. Then can he make it 7? He's had to win here in Monaco earlier this season. Can he make it 7 there for Nigel while he's on the optimal strategy at the moment? So Forza is up in the 6th position. Both Williamsons are doing a good job then. We got Pro Echo's out the race. Echo's out the race. Stringy is taking a void in action, I think, and he has damaged the car. Echo is in the wall. We're losing them left, right, and centre in this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Incredible stuff here. This is helping Emerson, I think, in certain extent, because he's now going at the field. Granty is now in the 6th position. Virtual safety car. Is anyone going to come in the pits then and take advantage there? This is incredible. And Emerson's in the pits, so he's taking advantage of 5-second penalty for severe collision there. And Sam has gone into the back of Mr. Lee, I think. Oh my goodness me. New F1 is dropped behind Gunnar for some reason. What's going on there? And I wonder if Gunnar's not even... I don't think Gunnar cares about the virtual safety car. He's flying through. My goodness me, Gunnar. So Gunnar is flying through. And so Emerson is out of the pits then on the hard tire, so he's going to the end of the race then. And I think he was gambling if there's a safety car, then perhaps that will come into fruition. Now back end, DRS is enabled. Stringy is in 5th position. I don't know how, but I think that the Williamses are now up into 3rd and 4th position. Stringy has dropped down to 5th position then, and I think he was taking a void of action. And also what's going on? Echo is just it's just basically I think he's disappointed with that, isn't he? He's out of the race. But I think Echo was on a solid race up until that point. Ooh, lap 7. We still got 20 more laps to go, this guys. Brandon is through and up into 7th position. He's got by Gunnar. Gunnar is on the soft tyres there, and those tyres might be starting to struggle now at this stage of the race. Emerson, currently as it stands, Granty will be champion in the final stages, and Sui, of course, a regular viewer for Granty for the win. And I think that I think she's also I think that Sui also wants to know if Granty's going to play Fortnite later. So you can see them. We've got pits activity here. Twang is in the pits then, so Twang is coming in then, and he's damaged the front wing. He has Twang has, so he's coming in the pits and he's changing tyres. He's on the soft tyre still. Gunnar is staying out. Steve's in the pits as well, and now he's out and about then. So Steve is coming out in 7th position. And remember, Steve's coming from the back of the field then, so I think he wants that driver of the day award, doesn't he? Incredible stuff. Laggy is out in at 6th position, then Steve 7th, Twang 8th. He's out to repair his wing. I think String has as well. Storm there making a return after he had 5 races last season for us. This season he's up in this season he is well, this is his first race this season, ready for next season, and he's doing a good job there. He's still in this, isn't he? And now William now coming out in at 12th position now, and we've also got Emerson in 13th position. It's not gone well at all for Emerson, has it? In this race so far. William is now very close to the back and no lights there. We've also got Echo saw stringy spin, then my car decided to copy. Good luck to everyone and see you next season. Well done to Echo. As Sue said, I don't need tonight because I'm not playing Fortnite. So, oh, there we go there. And now William there is down the back straight. He is up into 11th position then. So William is at this moment in time. Emerson still needs to, well, if Emerson wants to keep this championship going, he has to finish in front of Granty. Granty is third at the moment. Emerson needs to get up to second. To basically win it on race wins, won't it? Because that's how, if they're joint on the exact same points, then Emerson will win on race wins. Yeah, this is it's been incredible stuff. Nigel's in the pits, only 8 laps on the Forza in his debut is leading the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and Granty set the fast up the race. So Forza, Marcus Winkelhock of ALR is leading this race. Wow, down there, Forza there. So as he is absolutely timed this really well done, but unfortunately he has got the man who is in prime position of winning this title, who is in second position as it stands at the moment. Nigel, where is Nigel at? He's gone out on the soft tyres. 3-second penalty for multiple warnings for Storm now, and there's also, we've got all sorts going on there. It's flicking up and down, isn't it? Now then, there's a force there. Is a moment in the sun. Might not be for much longer. Is now Granty is all over the back of it. He is going to retake the lead. He has retaken the lead. He passes Forza and moves up into the lead. This is what Granty wanted then, and he is on the right tyres. He is in the lead, and wow, and at the moment he is looking, and Brandon is second at the moment, and he's a second adrift, and Emerson has now moved up to 12th position. But we've got a good battle developing, not only between Steve and Laggy, but we've also got a battle developing between William and Gunnar. Murphy has joined back in the session, and I think it was a shame for Murphy twice in a row though. That Murphy has failed to get past the 3 corners, I think, in the last 2 races there. So after a strong season, it hasn't gone too well, has it, for Murphy? On board with William there, who is on the back of Gunnar. Remember, it's between Williams and McLaren there for the final battle for the constructors. Who's not going to finish last? That is the battle which is really intriguing. William is through and up into 10th position then. And we'll and oh my goodness me, Laggy there very close to the wall then as they come through turn 19 then, and they're flicking it through then. Laggy is in 5th position at the moment, but he is on 7-lap tyres. Yellow flag in 3. That's Stringy. Stringy is off the track and he's had a problem. So Stringy has had a problem and he's damaged the car, and that is not ideal for McLaren at all. And look, that's a lot of wing damage, isn't it? Is he going to come in the pits then? Stringy is, so we're on board with Stringy then, and you can see he's struggling with the understeer. That's a lot of damage on the McLaren there. And now William is through, and he got another yellow flag in 3. What's going on in 3 again? I'm not sure, but yeah, it's that Forza. Forza is dropping down there into, oh my goodness me, it's dropping down into 3rd position. Then we've also got Gunnar is now in front of Stringy as well. Is Forza going to have a look then? No, Forza is, of course, he's on an alternative strategy at the moment, so that's why. So Forza might be a factor later on this race. Remember, making his debut, Williams are doing an incredible job. They will be in 9th position in the constructors. Steve is going to strengthen that, and he's moved up into 5th position now, and he is through and up into 5th then. So well done to Steve. Like that. Oh my goodness, straight line it there. But look at this, and this is the beauty of this part of the track. The straights are slightly too long. Oh my goodness me! And now then, he's pulled out from underneath the rear wing. Laggy is up into 5th position then, well, he's back up into 5th, I should say, and Twang there is now becoming a very intrigued spectator. My goodness me, Nigel's all over the back there of Forza. Where is, oh my goodness me, how close did you get? It's Twang has gone on the outside. Where are they? There they are. There's the Pink Panthers in front of the Williams there, and Twang has got through as Nigel is through and up into 3rd position then. So Nigel back on the podium then, here and over there. Oh my goodness, like it, almost lose it, and look, Twang there is literally pushing him out of turn 19 then. And wow, this is a very intense battle here. Remember, Laggy there has done 10 laps. No, he hasn't. He's done 8 laps on the soft tyres, 10 laps for Forza. So those guys are going long into this race then. So yeah, that strategy might pay off later on in this race, and well, it's paying off at the moment. It's 14 cars are left out of the 19 who started. Stringy's gone. Stringy is out of the race, and I think they damaged the car, and that was it for Stringy. McLaren need to have an amazing. Laggy's dropped down into sixth position now. McLaren, I think then, as it stands in the constructors' standings, I think that Williams will overhaul them by quite a significant margin here now, and yeah, Williams are now in the box seats because McLaren are only 2 points in front of Williams. So that is it now, isn't it? Gunnar, he might need to have the race of his life, doesn't he, if he wants to keep McLaren from the bottom of the table then, as unfortunately Stringy is out, Echo's out, Jonathan's out, Fisher's out, and Murphy's out as well. My goodness me, that is a lot, and great car control. My good, oh no, and they've gone into each other. I think, I'm not sure if that was lag or what, and Steve has damaged the front wing. Fisher's left for session, and I think we'll be seeing Stringy go as well in a minute, and that is such a shame then for oh my goodness me, Laggy diving on the inside there, and as I was getting a bit scared. They got their elbows out here, haven't they? My goodness me. As it seems to be a bit personal. As you can see then, the artificial lights are starting to take over. The 6 seconds separates the two Renault drivers in first, second. Renault are showing why they are the constructors champions. Doing brilliant stuff indeed at the moment. And the defending constructors champions Red Bull are currently in 8th, and Lights cannot get back in the session because he's unfortunately dropped out, and I don't think he can get back in. So that is a shame there for Lights then. And now then, so Steve with damaged front wing, that is good. That's really compromised him, isn't it, Steve? And that is such a shame. Laggy is in the pits then for the Ferrari then, so he's coming in the pits. So he's done a very good job on those soft tires. The 9 laps, nicely done indeed then. Battle for the lead then, and there's Nigel in the background as well then. I'm wondering, we might need to have Morty 21 here because because it looks like that Nigel's now starting to reel the two Renault boys in as they are now fighting for the lead then. And well, we hope nothing untoward happens here then. It's been as you can see then, Granty there is now chasing down. Remember, Granty at the moment is still, as Emerson is in the top 10 then, so he's back in the points, but he needs to at the moment though, he needs to basically he is at 39 seconds behind this championship rival, and that is an awful lot of time to make up, isn't it? As Forza's got a 3-second penalty there, and Forza, I gotta say, the Marcus Winkelhock of the modern day ALR, and he led a race on his debut. Well done to Forza, good stuff indeed there. And now as Northern Lights, well, to be honest, I think I must be yeah, I don't know, I'd like to see the Northern Lights one day, but Lights is back in the session then, so Murphy got him back in. Well done, Murphy. And yeah, Lights back in the session. Let's see what he can do then from 41 on the grid, because he's got just over half the race left, but that is a massive handicap, isn't it, to be starting from there. But I've got to say, I still think he had the best start of the year. Incredible. Lap 13 then of 28. Let's take a look at the race order. Granty on course to become season 2 champion. Brandon is second at the moment with Nigel third. Forza is in the pits then for the Williams team then. Williams are going to be out at the bottom of the table as McLaren there have unfortunately lost Stringy, and both Williamses are still going. Steve's in 6th position with Forza in 5th. I think that Williams are on a fantastic day. He's onto the soft compound tyre, so that is a long time to go to the end then, so he'll be back in the pits then. But watch Forza, he's going to be flying. I think Storm making his return is actually stormed up in the 6th position, but he's got William who's very close behind now as well, in that 7th and 8th position then. And look, Brandon there is now really starting to shadow his teammate, isn't he? I'm wondering, is Brandon going to attempt to go for a move, or is or does he know the stakes here at the moment? Emerson as Gunnar is now come out right behind Forza's coming out right in front of Gunnar now, so that's going to be an interesting battle as well. William, as we just mentioned, is all over the back of Storm as well. Remember, Toro Rosso are fighting a Racing Point in the battle for second and third in the constructors. As it stands, as Grant's got a 3-second penalty at the moment, as it stands, that might not affect him too much, but yeah, the Racing Point is battling with Toro Rosso in the battle for second position, isn't they? And I think actually is and we've also got Haas, who's not too far, but unfortunately Haas have I think the constructors title might be slightly out of Haas's well, the battle for second in constructors for Haas is probably out of the window now. But yeah, so I think that's going to be an intriguing battle, isn't it, then, to the end of this race between Toro Rosso and Racing Point. As it stands, I think Racing Point are the team in the box seats to keep that second position, with Twang flying the flag beautifully well then. Williams now all over the back of Storm, and Storm is on the hard tire. He's done 10 laps on the hard tires. Williams done 5 laps on the medium compound tire. Tire strategy around here is just all over the show at the moment, isn't it? Really is. I don't really know what the best strategy is. I don't think anyone knows what the best strategy is at the moment. Here comes Lights, who is in the session then, so he's taken about a couple of laps to get his. Oh my goodness me, they're very close together. Look at this wheel to wheel. Simon's giving him a squeeze there, going down into the back straight then. Let's see, Lights is through and up into 13th position then. Sam is going, oh my goodness me, and Sam, they're giving him a slight nudge. Where is he? Where is the Mercedes driver? There he is. He is and Grant, he has lost the lead. Brandon is through and up into the lead then, so that this is gloves off then. Brandon and Grant are going to be battling then for the lead here in Abu Dhabi, and it's between the two Red Bulls. Remember, these guys are the Constructors Champions, and look at this, Brian Grant, he's all over the back of Brandon. He flicks out from underneath the rear ring. He is through. No, he isn't. He I thought he thought of it, but yeah, he's I don't think he's doing one of Wild Lunch. My goodness me, this is getting interesting, isn't it? We got Forza, we got William, we got Storm, all battling for this. And look at this, we got William moved up into 6th position. He flies by Storm and moves up into 6th. 7th position, so 7th position is Storm. Forza is in 8th position then, but Storm now has the DRS advantage. They come down coming down the back straight, and William there is hugging the inside line. They're very close to the barrier there, William is, and look, oh my goodness me, that was a bit weavy there, wasn't it, for William there? Getting very dangerous. Storm there is on the hard tire, isn't he? So so he's going for more long game. This man is going for the short game, isn't he? As Forza, I'll tell you what, he's had an incredible debut, isn't he, here tonight? And Gunnar there just in the background as well, doing a good job. Laggy is 0.3 of a second away from Emerson at the moment. Emerson down in 10th position then. Remember, Emerson made his debut now in Azerbaijan, and he was flying, wasn't he? But unfortunately, he needed a good result today, and it's not going his way at all, is it, for the man who's second in the title? And Forza is right underneath the rear wing of Storm at the moment. William there is now starting to pull away. Then Emerson's got a 3-second penalty in the Haas then, as we keep saying. I think Emerson needs a safety car or something, doesn't he? Gunnar is in the pits, and after only 5 laps on the soft tires, that's interesting, isn't it? And as Sue just said, still here to support my buddy, and of course that is Grant at the moment, who is in the box seat still. Remember, he is in the box seats, and he is now got 13 laps to go. Then, as you can see, then I love this race where it just turns tonight. It's incredible, isn't it? And wow, he is not going up though, is he? Because he's now back through and moved up into the lead. Granty has good stuff there from Granty. Look at this. So Brandon there is really pushing him, isn't he? Coming out of the technical chicane. The technical part of the race, and my goodness me, the Renault boys are on an outstanding race day, aren't they? Of course, New F1 has not won a race yet, so this will be that is definitely what he's going for today. Sam is retired from the session, and so Sam is out of the race. He got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits as well, so it's not been a good race there for Sam. My goodness me, William, Storm, and Forza all still battling away then for 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Steve is 4 seconds in front at the moment, and Emerson is 10 seconds away. But Laggy is now all over. He's up the outside. He's swooping through, and he has moved up into 9th position. Emerson dropped down to 10th. We've got a yellow flag in 1. What's going on in 1? I'm not sure. I think it's Lights there. I don't know what's going on there. So Emerson's dropped down into 10th position then, and there's Nigel's in the pits, and he's out the pits now then. Oh my goodness me. And you can see that both the Renault guys are still battling away here in Abu Dhabi then. This is incredible stuff, isn't it, between the two guys? Granty, even though he is still going to win the title, well, as it stands, of course, then we still got a long way to go. And again, as Emerson is Laggy's got a problem. Laggy's got a problem there. He is recovering, and something's gone majorly wrong there for the Ferrari driver. And Emerson and Laggy were very close together, and I keep missing it. It's incredible stuff, isn't it? Now then, the Renault drivers are just battling away there. An incredible race here in Abu Dhabi. And look at this then, as Grant is side by side again. Grant's got the DRS. He should have the momentum. He does have the momentum. And whoa, and on a bit of a wobbly there as well. It's as Brandon there has dropped back down into 2nd position then. Oh, wow. As now then you can see back to this battle here then. This is a 3-car train movement headed up by William, Storm and Forza, all battling away. And oh my gosh, Storm now almost going into the back of William there. Well, no, it might have just been really good judging on the brakes there. Oh my goodness me. And look at this. And look at this, as they're going all over the back of each other. It's like a game of Snake here, isn't it? And now Forza's also getting involved on the soft compound tires. He's going to go to the inside. And where is he? There's Storm. There's Forza. Forza's through. Oh no, the Storm has to take a face of action. Where is Forza? And he's had to get out of it there. and dropping down into 8th position then. Oof, I got a headache after all that. Ooh, blimey. So William has given themselves some breathing space after they were basically side by side, wasn't they, going into the back out down the chicane of the back straight then. Granty is still got the advantage at the moment, and Emerson has moved up into 9th position then on the hard tyre, so he should be going to the end of the race on that, I think. And of course, we've also got Sui saying so proud. We've got Light saying, oh yeah, he's back in, and also John Cox saying, come on, Twang, mate, do it for Race Point. Apologies for the crash, that retired me to the team, but that's alright. And oh my goodness me, because Twang is off the track. Twang is off the track, and I think we just seen Nigel taking a void in action there. It's that perilous turn 3, isn't it? It's causing all sorts of problems here tonight. And Steve is in the pits going on the medium compound tire. We've got the both Renault guys there who are once again battling away then. Well, I've got to say then that this has been an incredible race, hasn't it? Abu Dhabi sometimes has an unfair reputation of being boring, but my goodness me, this hasn't been boring tonight, has it? 13 cars remain then after the 19 that started, and this is the final race of 2019, the final race of this decade as well, and they're putting on the clinic, aren't they? Mr. Elite is out of the race, and Mr. Elite there is we had a very strong season, I think, but he's and Gooner's gone as well. Gooner is gone as well, so that is that's a big blow, isn't it? Now Lights could get some points on his debut then after what has been a very tested opening start. And Granty is in the pits end for Renault, so Granty coming in the pits end. So this is a final stop then of his season. Well, his final scheduled stop for this season then as he comes into the pits then. For the Renault team. Forza is once again under a 10th of a second behind a Storm, and this is an incredible battle, isn't it? So Granted, they're coming in the pits, and Emerson is now up to 8th position then in the standings, but he needs to finish in front of Granty with 11 laps to go. It is becoming a tall order for Emerson, isn't it? And it all went wrong. Just coming out of the first couple of corners there. Nigel, I'm wondering if Nigel couldn't be able to go to the end then, so Nigel could potentially be in the lead this race then. Storm is now up into 4th position, 4th up to 5th. Twang is in the pits then, and he is on. Well, he's coming in the pits. What tires are going on then? And he is. He's just put on the 7 medium compacts and he's gone because he had a bit of a slip, didn't he, earlier on. Emerson is now up into 6th position then, so he's working his way back up through the field, Emerson is, but it is still a long shot, isn't it? And unfortunate for the Emerson fans out there, it's not been his day, has it? Well, Nigel potentially don't need to stop again, but Granty has got so much pace in this race, hasn't he? It's frightening at the moment now from the Renault driver. And because he's now all over the back of Nigel. It was a 2-second gap when I last looked. It's not anymore, is it? It's now well under a second. It's well under a second. Nigel's going to have to go defensive here. Nigel has gone defensive. Brandon's going to go around the outside. Lovely shot at the front wing here. Where is he? Oh, there he is. So he just cuts in front, and Mr. Elite is gone then, unfortunately. Hopefully, and that's a bit of a sad end to this season. And Ford has moved back up into 4th position, and he is through and past Storm. And now then, how much pace he got? So Force is having an inspired race here today, isn't he? It's a fantastic race from Forza. Storm, of course, making a return as well. It's been good stuff, hasn't it, up and down the field. I've got to say, there's been action galore in this race. I think I've missed a lot of it. So yeah, I'm probably not going to be the most popular director at the end of this race. 17 seconds the gap is then between New F1 and the two guys that chased him of Nigel and Granty. New F1 is coming out of the pits as well. Where is he? He hasn't even gone under the neutral track yet. Granty then, the undercut works like a dream around here, doesn't it? Nigel leads. Granty is second. Brandon is still coming out of the pits. There he is. He's coming out of the pits now in the Renault, and he's away. But wow. So look at that. He's lost 3 seconds there because he pitted a lap later. And so I wonder, but he does have a lap fresher tyres. Is that going to be important? And then later on we'll find out. Nigel is, I think Nigel might be a sitting duck here as they come down the back straight. And now we're on board then with Granty. He hasn't got DRS though. Well, he has got DRS, but he's not using it. Is there a DRS failure in that Renault? Well, it's just made his job harder, hasn't it? Maybe it's a bit of, maybe he was trying out the same, oh my goodness me, how close was that to touch in there between Granty and Nigel there? My goodness me, that was a whisker away, wasn't it? Look at this, and this is a great old battle, isn't it, between Slaggy and Steve? Great old battle there between the Ferrari and the Williams then. Well, then at the moment, then the battle between the Williams and the Ferrari, between the Williams and the McLaren is 2 points separates. No, and then 2 points to it. They're joint on 120 points, and in the constructors then now Laggy is up into 9th position, and Steve is down into 10th. Or is he? No, No, he because he's going to break much later, isn't he? He's on the medium compound tires. Laggy's going to leave his nose in there. He has left his nose in there, but see there, it's just just basically drove around the outside of him, and he is back up in the 9th position then. So wow, good racing for both these guys then. But Laggy is good. Oh my goodness me, he's coming from a long way back. He is through and up into 9th position there. Good driving from both drivers out, but no, Steve, oh my goodness, that's great purchasing. He's back up in the 9th position. Fantastic stuff from Steve then. Wow, Steve really put a march on there, didn't he, on the Williams driver? So well done there to well done there to Steve. They're really battling hard as he can, hard as he liked then, and I was enjoying that. That was good. That was really good indeed. On board then William then, who gotta say then, it's been action galore here in this race, and we are now coming into the final stage of this race. Emerson is having the 5th position because Storm is coming to the pits then. Emerson's on that 13 lap with hard tyres. Yeah, so they're all closing up on him behind at the moment. Emerson is so Twang, William and Steve are all on fresher tyres, and Laggy as well. So Emerson is going to be under a lot of pressure, I think, in the next couple of laps. Here comes Storm coming out of the pits now, making a return then here tonight, and so he'll be involved in the draw in the not too distant future. Murphy has left the session again then. It's a shame for Murphy, is already. That's not the way he wants this season to end. My goodness me, Nigel is now all over the back of Grant, isn't it? These guys are on similar compound tires, and look who's in the background as well. Brandon's in the background as well. There he is in the yellow car. The Renault team are having an incredible day today, and it's been a oh, we got a yellow flag because Twang's gone. Twang is off the track there. Look, he's recovering, but this is not going well at all well for the Racing Point team at the moment. As it stands, I think Racing Point are still second in the constructors, but my goodness me, it's been a testing day for the team. Then a quality qualifying up there from John, but from Jonathan Cox, but I think the race hasn't gone too well for either of them. And a Laggy racer coming from a long way back there, and oh my goodness me, and good car control there from Laggy to keep it going straight there. Good stuff indeed then. Oh, and oh my god, I keep going. I'm losing my breath here today. It's incredible stuff. Brandon is now within 2 seconds at the moment, isn't it? We're on board with Brandon because look in front. There they are. It's Nigel. It's Granty. It's potentially it's last season's champion versus this season's champion, isn't it? At the moment, Granty is at the moment in the box seats. Nigel is the man who's bowing out of as champion at the moment. Emerson is having the 4th though. So Emerson is just creeping up the time. It's just creeping up the standings, isn't he? As each lap goes on. But he still needs to get in front of Granty because he's still at the start of this race he was a 3-point deficit. He's only getting 12 at the moment. Was Granty is getting 25, and now he's got the guys behind him are on quicker tires. So William, Twang, Steve. We've also got Storm as well, who's in shot, as is Forza and Laggy. So we've got all kinds of drama here, and look at this, and this is the battle for the lead then. Oh my goodness me, and they flashed through. We've also got we've got William there overtaking Emerson. He is through and up into oh, Emerson there just leaving his wing there. We've got Storm going past Steve there, and oh my goodness me, and so I think Storm might have come over a bit surprisingly there for Steve there, but my goodness me, but Emerson is back through. He is not giving up easy. He is not giving up at all, and look at this then as we're back on board then. William is leaving it going. Oh my goodness me, and William there is through, and we're sitting there battling all the way till the end here in Abu Dhabi. And fair play as well for Emerson. And car 25, he's had 19 for most of the season, hasn't he? I think he changed it for the for Anton Hubert, of course, who lost his life earlier on the season, which is such a shame. But car 25 here tonight for Emerson. I'm wondering if that might have been an omen where he probably shouldn't have changed that. I'm not sure if he's superstitious or not. But yeah, what a shame there for Emerson here at the moment. It all went wrong in the first turn, didn't it? Now as he comes down the back straight, then half a second separates the battle for lead at the moment then, and he's back on board now. Then that's fastest lap for Storm. Wow, on his return he's going to get fastest lap as it stands at the moment. Not once again getting, but the straight is just not long enough at the moment, is it, for the season 1 champion? As they go into the chicane, and it's turn 8 and 9, they flicker out now. Lovely. And it's now the back straight once again. Then DRS enabled. Nigel is using all the ears, and then he's using so much battery. Look at Brandon. He's like a shark in the. He's like a shark that smells blood in the water, doesn't he? Look at him. He's just peering down on these two as well. Brandon going for his first ALR win. Nigel going for his 7th ALR win. Granty going for his 4th ALR win. Twang is through and past Emerson. Emerson has dropped down into 6th position now. Emerson will have the most wins this season with 5, but yeah, so which is I'm not sure if it's a consolation or not at this moment in time for Emerson, but yeah, that just shows that he is a man that's very quick indeed and definitely needs to be taken seriously next season. He's going to have a go at the inside. Oh, there's a bit more contact there, and Twang is now on his way and up into 5th position then. Battle for the lead then is between Granty, Nigel and New F1. This is incredible. They've got half a minute back now to William in 4th position with Twang in 5th, Emerson in 6th position. Then we've got Forza and the Williams now starting to fight as well in the battle for 8th and 9th then. As we're into the final 5 laps then of this race, and I gotta say, my goodness me, what a finale it's been. We might have been robbed of a more intense affair, haven't we? We weren't robbed of a intense affair in qualifying, my goodness me. But I think in the race where Emerson was where Emerson had issues at the start, I think him and Murphy had issues, didn't they? I'm not sure if they come together or what, but it just hasn't been his day, has it, here today? And unfortunately, that is sport, isn't it? It's just sometimes it's not your day, and I think today it hasn't been his day. And I think Granty has had a walk in the park either, has he? Because he's had Brandon and Nigel all over the back of him for most of this race. As once again, and now I think this is what Granty wants, and Emerson's dropped out of the 7th position now. So Storm now on the back straight then. Emerson is in 7th position, but he's not giving up, is he? He hasn't got DRS, but he has got the slipstream, isn't he? Look at him, he's just mirroring what Storm does. Storm has had an incredible drive, hasn't he, in this race, doing a brilliant job as well. Forza is through and up into 8th position. Steve has dropped down to 9th. I think Forza and Storm are having some incredible drives today. Lights, I think, was unfortunately, Lights didn't really have a fair shot at it, did he? As he disconnected, which was a big shame, literally just before the race has started. Just before the race has started, so that was unfair on Lights. But I think that, I've really looked forward to seeing if he's in the pack again next season. It'd be interesting to see what he can do. But in qualifying, he definitely looked like a very skilled driver, didn't he? So yeah, and that's unfortunate for Lights then. But I gotta say, Forza incredible job today, hasn't he? He's been leading this race as well. Incredible job as well for Storm, who returned as well. And I gotta say, he's had a storm in return, hasn't he? Jonathan is just saying in the comments there. Yeah, I don't want to get third that way. It wasn't fair. Commiserations to Dan. Not the best way to get third for me. Unfortunately, that is motorsports. And look at the background. There's a Renault there who is really gaining. Look at that yellow car. Is it going to launch? Is it going to launch? He's disappeared. Where is he? Where is he? He's on the inside, I think. Is he? No, Nigel's still through. There he is. But now then, he just needs to keep it clean. Brandon does. He has kept it clean. He is now gaining again, and he's going to go on the outside. Nigel's defended the inside. This could be. This is going to be very interesting because Brandon does have fresher tires, and I'm wondering. He looks like he has a lot of pace in that Renault, doesn't he? Is he going to steal the win from Granty in the final 5 laps? This is going to be very tense indeed, isn't it? We've also got Emerson, who is now defending from Forza and also from Steve, as the two Williams is now bearing down as well. Remember, Williams have got a stake in this race as well. They don't want to finish bottom for 2nd year in a row, do they? And they, I got to say, they should be all right. They just need to score 2 points. Well, they're on more than 2 points at the moment. They're on 6 points, and that will get them off the bottom of the constructors as well. I think in the other battle in the constructors as well, I think Racing Point have got 2nd position at the moment. Forza is through and up into 8th position. Emerson dropping down then into 8th position, and he's got Steve then, who is the next man who is going to be interested in that in his position. And so Steve then up into 8th position. And remember, Steve had a qualifying ban, and the race could have been. I think he was involved in in damage to his front wing, wasn't he, earlier on? And otherwise, his race might have been a lot more fruitful as well. Yeah, John for just saying I feel bad for him. Goon saying, wow, roll on next season. And we've also got Sui going, come on Grant, you can do this. Wow, can he do this? Well, got to say, the man has been impeccable this season, hasn't he? And well, he's got one more fight on his hands of 2019, and that is in between himself and Brandon. And Brandon there is coming from a long way back there. Look at that. and that's a lot of speed there in the Renault. So Brandon takes the lead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and is he going to be able to stay there? We're on board then with Granty again. Then Granty's going to have DRS. He isn't using DRS, is he? But look at that, Granty is so quick. I reckon there's a problem with Granty's DRS because he's not using it, is he? And now Brandon, that might have let Brandon off back. And oh my goodness me, I thought that Granty went to the back of his teammate then. Well, that would have been very unpopular, wouldn't it? Remember, these guys might be teammates next season. If I've oh no, it's a Nigel there. It's just gone into the side of. Well, he didn't get into the side of Nigel. I think he just stopped himself there. But my goodness me, and that reminds me then, as I haven't actually said it in about 20 minutes. Remember that there. Oh, we'll come back in a minute because look at this. We've now got a battle. We've also got a battle with Storm and Twang as well. Twang and Storm. Where are they? There they are. So they're coming down the back straight. And now Storm is staying in 5th position. Twang's in 6th position mode, and Emerson is still in 8th position then, and still battling with Steve. Oh my goodness me. And now on the 26 out of 28. Yeah, remember the draw is coming up fairly soon. Not one in 50 minutes time then on the ALR YouTube channel. So of course it also is the rewards as well, which will be announced then for all the drivers then. And of course we have mentioned the awards in the past then anyway, so it's more of a visual presentation there for all the guys that have done a fantastic job this season. And a lot of them are very richly deserved, don't they? Steve is definitely he's got to stick on the inside here, isn't he? He has snuck on the inside. He is through and up into 8th position. And Emerson there is dropping down to 9th in the Haas. And you can see, I wonder how Emerson's feeling. And I got to say, take nothing away from him. He's been Lewis Hamilton-esque this season, hasn't he? And a yellow flag in 1 and 2. What's going on? Oh no, it's William there. He's got off the track. William is off the track. Then it's not good at all. Then for the Toro Rosso team, I think that is almost confirmed now. That is, oh my goodness me, he's right in the middle of the track. He's come right and compromised the Williams driver Steve there. That is all but confirmed. Racing Point, I think, will be in 2nd position now in the constructors then. So well done to Twang, well done to Jonathan. Well, we still have 3 laps to go there, so I might have been a bit eager on that one. So I hope I haven't put the commentator's curse on them. Oh, and so Granty is back in the lead of this race. Look, there's 3 cars. It's reminiscent of 2016. The only difference is I wonder if Granty's going as fast as he can. He can go as fast as he can because he's got a DRS issue, I think, as they flick through turn 19 then. And my goodness me, this is a cracking volley to ALR. Impressive stuff indeed then from Granty. Emerson is back up into 7th position. Oh my goodness me! And William there is just drove into. I'm not sure what happened there, but William just come from a long way back and almost, well, torpedoed into Emerson there, and that's really that's not good at all, is it? From the Toro Rosso there. He just came from a long way back. I don't know what he was doing, to be honest. So, and that's disappointing. And really, that's kind of it's kind of been Emerson's day, really. But I don't think we didn't see what happened before that. But yeah, I think that yeah, we can't really comment on what happened before that. But that reaction there was not ideal, was it? See, it's now all over the back of Emerson again. Emerson's now got a damaged front wing to put into just to add to his woes, and Brandon's back up in the lead. Then I think this is the most changes for the league we've had, and this is also I've also missed like at least half of them. And now they flicker over the where are we going? Over the chicane. That's what I meant to say. Steve is back up into 7th position then in the battle between South Emerson. Emerson has now got a major problem. Not only has he got 20 lap old hard tires, he's also got a damaged front wing as well. This is the battle for the lead though. This is incredible. Twang has now got a problem. He's got a Storm and he's got Forza. Well, Forza's not too far back from Sam's left session there, Sam has, but I hope he's going to tune in and see what car he'll be driving in season 3. Remember, Sam, like Emerson, this is their first seasons in a league race, and I got to say they've both done a phenomenal job. Emerson, of course, Lewis Hamilton there still, hasn't he? Because he came in relatively unknown, and my goodness me, he stormed to win in Azerbaijan, Spain, and Monaco. 3 out of 3 for Emerson. Impressive stuff. And I think, of course, he didn't. No, he didn't win in Monaco. Nigel won, but then he won in Canada as well. And really impressive stuff. But it just a couple of races just didn't go his way this season. And it's been an up and down season for all the drivers, hasn't it? I think the points tally from last season to this season is quite a number of races. I'm sure that Nigel did touch on the very high 200s. This season we're going to be only in the mid 200s, and but it just shows how competitive this season has been, doesn't it? Really, so fantastic stuff indeed. Final lap of season 2, final lap of this decade, final lap of this year for ALR, and they're coming down the back straight. Brandon is very close now to getting his first win in ALR, and I tell you what, he has earned this one, hasn't he? He's been impeccable driving at the front, hasn't it, between the two Renault guys. Really been impressive stuff, and it's also quite apt, isn't it, that Nigel's also involved in this battle, as well as he is the outgoing title holder. As Brandon there, and look, now Granty's got DRS. I think it might be a bit too little too late then, as they come into the final part of the lap. Then now we're into the twisty part then, and Emerson then is in 8th position then, and look at this, as Brandon there is really struggling, isn't he? He's really struggling. I think he's just struggling on pace there, isn't he, as they come coming into turn 18 now, on board then with Granty, as they now look at this under the hotel for the final time. Brandon there, I've got to say, Brandon's won it. It's a good race to win, but I think that he probably picked a better time. Brandon coming through, and he wins his first race. Granty comes through, and he wins the ALR Season 2 World Championship. Wow, incredible stuff from Granty. Brilliant. Absolutely immense driver all season, and richly deserved. Granty boy, ALR Season 2 World Champion. And doesn't that sound good from Granty? Incredible driver, and what a driver it has been today. And impressive stuff from Granty. Nigel finishes third in the end. Twang comes through to finish 4th, with Storm making a return, coming into 5th position. Brilliant stuff. Forza making his debut. Lovely stuff. Williams are off the bottom, and they do not finish last, so well done to Williams there. So they're up into 9th in the constructors, and I think the drivers for the drivers this season have really put in a good performance. And Emerson there was so close yet so far, but wonder if next season will be the season. Laggy Racer in 9th position. William will come through in 10th position then, and Lights there making a debut then. But Granty there, I think it's been an incredible drive today, hasn't it? I think he's had an impressive season, but today it just showed that he can. He knew how to deal with the pressure, didn't he? And I'm wondering if that was just a little more experience there. Granty is your world champion. Fantastic stuff there from the Renault driver. Brilliant stuff there from Granty, and really well done. Just catching up on the comments, as I've been just kind of talking away. Gamer saying, I love this. Sui, come on, Granty Butte. Emerson, the champion, the people's champion. Gamer said, congratulations, Granty. Granty, yes. And I'll catch up on all the comments in a minute. And there's Brandon, well deserved. We shouldn't really take nothing away from Brandon, because that was his first race win in ALR. And I tell you what, it was an incredible race as well. Renault were 1-2 as well. And we don't get many 1-2s in league racing, but I think today showed how impressive how impressive the Renault guys were. Let's just take a quick look at the final standings from the final race of the year and of the decade of ALR. Brandon, his first race win of his career in ALR. Hopefully the first of many, because he had an incredible race today. Granty, your world champion of Season 2, is 2nd. Nigel, the outgoing champion, in 3rd position in 3rd. We got Twang in 4th position. Very good battle and drive from Twang in 4th. Storm making his return, and a Storm and drive to 5th. Forza, our Marcus Winkelhock in 6th position. Led a race. Brilliant stuff. Steve was 7th in the end. Good battle and drive from Steve. Both Williamses are now off the bottom. Emerson in 8th. Commiserations for Emerson. It all went wrong, didn't it, in the first corner. Laggy in 9th. And Lights on his debut in 10th position. The best start that anyone would ever have in a season. That is your top 10 run. William finished 11th in the end. Brilliant. Before we go in and talk to all the drivers in here, because it is like a party in here now, let's just quickly just take a look at the comments, shall we? And we got Gamer saying, congrats Brandon with the race win. Absolutely, it really was. It was a good race for Brandon, wasn't it? Probably the worst race you could win though, really, because we just crowned a champion. We got Sui saying, I'm so proud. Yes, well done, Grant. we got Laggy, what a season it really has been. We've also got Granty, let's go, I gave Brandon the win. Lol. And we've also got Sui saying, well done, Granty again. Nathan, unlucky Emo, you'll smash it in the next decade. And also got Gamer up for the next one. Brandon asks, I'm up for an interview. Yes, come on in, Obert, come on in, or come on down, as Bruce Forsyth says. We've also got Twang saying that'll be the top 3 of an outside. Yeah, got it, cool, awesome. So, who's in here?
Yo.
Well, then I gotta say, you guys must be buzzing about that. I know one person that will be, and that's Emerson, unfortunately. I think Emerson's in here. Are you in here, Emerson?
I am indeed, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, I'm really sorry about that, man. I gotta say, qualifying was incredible between you and Granty. You were separated by a whisker for most of it. Unfortunately, the final session it just didn't go your way. But I think for me, we have to go straight into turn 1. What happened at turn 1 and 2? Because that's where it all went wrong for you in today's race, didn't it?
Well, I hardly even touched him. It was literally the slightest of kisses on his back end, as weird as that sounds. But yeah, and then we both ended up in the barrier, unfortunately.
Was that with Dan Murphy? Was it?
Yeah, obviously had to happen with a family, didn't it? But what can you do?
Well, conspiracy theories going on now, isn't there?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think I'm going to be able to see tomorrow. I think it's probably going to end up coming to my house and killing me. But
I wonder where he went. So that is such a shame, man, as well. But overall, I think you've had a spectacular season. You came in, and I got to say, you blew the competition away. Lewis Hamilton-esque, I was saying on the stream there, where you was an unknown league racer, and my gosh, people know you now. What about next season?
I mean, hopefully next season I'll smash it, because obviously I didn't come in until Baku, so I missed the first 4 rounds, and I was literally re-watching the highlights of some of the races, and then obviously I think there was the first 3 or 4 races I was first, second, or whatever it was. I was like up there, and then in Silverstone I had internet issues and I didn't finish and I crashed, and I was just hungry. I mean, I didn't really have a championship head on. I dropped points. Like, there's so many places in so many races where I could have picked up points where I probably would have easily, and obviously missing Brazil last week, that didn't help. But yeah, I mean, hopefully next season's going to be the one. But like you said, this is my first season in any league racing, but yeah, I think I did pretty well considering.
I think you did phenomenal. So commiserations, Emerson, and your fan club will hopefully be back here next season as well. I've got to say, they've been quite funny. I've got to say.
Fine, yeah, they have tuned in every week to watch. Fair play to all my mates who watched it all for me. But yeah. Oh,
fantastic stuff. Look, Emerson, and I'm looking forward to seeing you and Granty battle on track next season. That's going to be juicy. So well done, mate. Good stuff. Let's come to our champion, shall we? Granty, my goodness me, what a performance today. It seems like you absorbed all that pressure and you was on it like Sonic from the get-go. How was that?
Oh yeah, absolutely brilliant, mate. I mean, it definitely helped out the fact that Fisher and Jonathan pretty much span out in the same place. I couldn't believe it. And then obviously me and New F1 was actually in the same party for the first time and actually talking to his teammates. So it was obviously, he's never won a race before, like in this league. So I gave him the win, and obviously where Emerson was, it wasn't really much of an issue. So, and we're just sort of toying around afterwards and that, and just sort of having a bit of a stream. So
that makes me feel even worse.
Yeah, to be fair with you, Emerson, mate, like I thought when obviously the first turn and whatnot, Dan Murphy was right next to me, and I thought I spun him out to make you have a spin. So when you clarified what actually happened, I was quite glad, because
I think that's what happened anyway. I might be wrong.
No, that's what you think. No, it did. No, I'm joking. No, it's been an absolute season. Yeah, a few races that I've been not scoring as many points, but been scoring points. I think the second half of the season's been sort of fantastic for myself. And obviously Emerson, when he came in, I knew he was the one to fight for. Same for Jonathan, come right at the end. But unfortunately couldn't finish today. So, but yeah, no, really great race.
Great race, great season as well, and you're definitely bang on about the second half of the season, because the first couple of races you seemed to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, but then you got your head down, and my goodness me, you was like a robot, really were, and incredible stuff.
Thank you, yeah. Appreciate it. It's not much else I can say, to be honest. Get my head in the game. If I'm in the zone, I'm in the zone. If I'm not, it's not my day. So yeah, just a lot of practice, and yeah, I mean, I know what league race is all about.
Definitely are, and I've got to say that experience showed through today. Brilliant stuff. And of course then, as well as, I think sometimes when you have hangovers as well, you seem to be unstoppable as well. I remember one race in particular, wasn't it Mexico?
Yeah, it was Mexico, yeah. Yeah, for some reason last week it didn't really go my way. When I actually come out of the pits for the first stop, I actually done my wing. And I thought, well, this ain't the right amount of drinks I'd done last time, so kind of messed myself up. But yeah, no, that's why I thought Abu Dhabi was going to be a tough one, and then how the qualifying went on and stuff like that, I just thought, oh, this could actually be in my favour, and just see how the race went on. It was all about first turn, second turn, and yeah, it was straight, and just see how that went. But yeah, I don't know, felt like everything went in my way tonight, so yeah, really happy about it.
Congratulations, Granty. Well deserved. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Enjoyed the battle between you and Emerson all the way through the season. So tense, especially the qualifying session. My goodness me.
Yeah, definitely got put on the show for that.
Well done, boys. Fantastic stuff. I think I've seen Jonathan sneak in here as well. Of course, Jonathan, commiserations in that race. But my goodness me, that was a stonking pole position lap. That was only your second in the season, which surprised me. But as a season overall, what are you happy with, and what do you think you need to improve on next season?
First half of the season, I thought it was a bit mediocre. But the second half of the season, I improved. From Silverstone onwards, I was second. 2 seconds in the first at Hungary. Belgium won the Greys, neither won Monza, but overall, it's been average. Things I need to improve on. Maybe going side by side with drivers and that, but I can improve on that. I can learn from that and bring me into season 3. But yeah, as for the pole lap, it was a great lap. Managed to find 5 tenths instead just 2 and 3. I don't know how I did that, so I can't really explain that.
I would say that's an out-of-body experience then, that was, because I can't remember if I used in the laugh or not really, because there was all sorts going on. But yeah, and you mentioned about the race in Hungary. That was an incredible race as well. You just wandered away in that race. We didn't see much of you, unfortunately, but I think those are the races where you're dominant. But yeah, next season, and if you as soon as you improve on your racecraft, my goodness me, you're going to be definitely in it to win it, aren't you, John? So well done today. Absolutely incredible pole lap. And I think next season, I'm really looking forward to see what you can do in qualifying, because only 2 pole positions in ALR, which was quite surprising, really. Because that's usually, I would say that's your usually your strongest attribute. Didn't you just get do you feel that the car wasn't right for you, or was it just Sundays where had a heavy Saturday or something?
Maybe I could have improved maybe the setup for the corners, but it's like I say, I can learn from it, and I'll be back next season. And congratulations to Granty. Great. Congratulations on your championship.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
Commiserations to Emerson as well. I don't know what happened at the start. I just wandered away. But yeah, congratulations as well to Brandon on his first ALR win, and roll on to season 3.
I echo that sentiment as well. Well done, Jonathan. Got to say, a good season as well, and that's kind of ominous when you can improve next season. So well done, Jonathan. Absolutely fantastic. And I think is Brandon in here yet? I'll just have a look at the comments now. I think he's waiting for an invite. Yeah, we'll hopefully get Brandon in a minute. I think, did we see Nigel pop in?
Nah, it's just us 3, bud.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. Sorry, Nigel.
Oh no!
Oh well, that's it then. I'm glad that's over with. Awesome stuff. Thanks to all the top 3 in the championship this year. It's been phenomenal stuff, and I got to say, Emerson's only going to get stronger. Granty is going to be so difficult to beat, and Jonathan as well. My goodness me, he had a bit of an off season with qualifying, and he finished 3rd. Think about that as well, guys. I got to bring in the admins now. I think Knowlesy's hanging about, so I'm not sure if I've seen Dan. Oh no! Before we do that, let's bring Brandon in, shall we? Brandon, what a race day between you and Granty. I was enjoyed it in the commentary box, but it seemed a bit orchestrated there from what I heard.
First of all, good evening. It was an alright race. I was happy with the result. I mean, I feel I'm gutted for obviously Emerson missing out on the championship. Unlucky, mate. I've raced you in Italy. The chance that I race I had with you, and you were really good. Obviously, Jonathan, I feel bad for you as well. You did a really good lap on the mediums, and it was unfortunate. Same thing as Fisher's as well. Unlucky for him too, but yeah, I was happy with the result. But obviously, it was sort of orchestrated. But I'm happy to take the win on my last race as a full-time driver. So yeah.
Well,
Wow.
I was going to say, even if it was orchestrated, that kind of doesn't make a difference because you were still up there with Granty anyway, and you was battling with Nigel, who's a formidable opponent in on of itself. So so take nothing away from there, because my goodness me, you and Granty were matching each other stride for stride throughout the whole of tonight. So well done, congratulations, man, and look forward to seeing what you can do next season when you'll be floating in and out, and hopefully we can see more track action with you. Congratulations.
Definitely, thank you very much. Thank you very much, ALR, for having me these last few races full time. I appreciate it, and it's been a blast. So I hope I'll see you guys on and off next season.
You've been a good teammate, bro. Nice.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna leave. So, and see you later, guys.
See you later, mate. And of course, that was the Renault pairing as well. It won the constructors last week, so absolutely brilliant stuff. Let me bring in the admins now then. So we got Knowlesy, and I think we got Murphy. If Murphy ain't going around to Emerson's house right now, let's just.
You're in a knock on the door in a minute.
Murphy's not making it.
No, it won't be a knock, it'll be a brick coming through the window.
Murphy's occupied, sorry.
So Knowlesy, I gotta say you've been the brains behind all this season, and second half of last season. It's been a fantastic 21 races, epic stuff up and down. How do you sum up this season then?
Pretty good, I think, in a nutshell.
Excellent. I'm on a few words. But
it's been a really good season. I think we've had a few new drivers here and there, and a few drivers like Emerson who have been sticking there and winning too many races, making people retire because they can't keep
the
up.
ones that matter, but...
Well, it was a close one. I think that qualifying session just now, both of you were about sort of 300 or something from each other in pretty much every qualifying session, I think, until the last lap. So it was a cracking drive from both of you. Well done.
Cheers. Thank you.
Absolutely fantastic stuff. Remember, in 29 minutes time now, the countdown is on for season 3. This is where it gets serious for season 3 now, and we will be finding out who is going to be driving where. That is probably the most important thing, is you need a car, don't you, to be racing. So the guys will be finding out what car they'll be driving in less than 30 minutes time. Of course, the awards video as well will be attached onto that, so to just congratulate the drivers who have been incredible this season. I would say that all the drivers that have raced in ALR this season has absolutely been immense. They really have. We've had a total of 54 drivers this season, and all of them have played their part in ALR for season 2. That is the last race of 2019 for us. That is the last race of the decade for us as well, before we move into season 3 on January the 12th, I believe it is, for gold. January the 13th for silver, an all-new silver league. My goodness me, promotion and relegation now, so that is going to just make it even more tense, isn't it? So this time next season, we're not only be talking about who's going to win, but who's going to get promoted down to silver. So hold on to your hats, everyone. It's going to be fantastic. Thank you all for joining us today. Thank you for all your comments all season. It's been great stuff. I've loved the Granty supporters. I've loved Emerson's supporters as well. I've loved all the random people in between. It's been brilliant. You've kept me on my toes this season. Thank you all, and we'll see you on January the 12th.